into that first map right now because, well, the entirety of that fourth quarter roster, at least 3 of them are on a main team together. They haven't won Inferno at all this season.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird pick. I think both you and I kind of saw that as a question mark. We'll see if it's a potential for a punish pick. Although, again, at certain points when you're up against this sort of firepower like the Pawn and what they're currently working with, you gotta worry about not picking to your comforts here. We'll see if that comes to fruition, though. It's going to be a bit of a Halls pop. We'll see if they do some work on their executes right now. They certainly have something in store. It's going to be a lurk smoke out, and they're trying to pressure Cyrix right now inside the pit.
Shots ringing out and ringing true for Cyrix on the double. Looking for one more. Potentially it's Gonzo to find one frag and a follow-up as well, but Cyrix has done their job and done it well with a couple of key frags. 3, in fact, is now the bomb going to be recollected. And as I say that, it's not going to get planted just yet as Gonzo has to worry about all these different angles. As there is that push. Gonzo to deny. It's now 3 for him, but it's certainly not enough.
I mean, incredible attempt right there from Gonzo in that recovery. Cyrix kicked things off so very hot. 3K in the round to finish. And there you go. Bomb picking up the first round opening pistol. Not even allowing for a bomb plant to go in as well. So fourth quarter, I'll have to make a decision to go for a little bit of a buy-in here or maybe just go for the full eco. That's what they're doing. Gonzo, the exception here with his 3 kills. He's going to invest into a deagle. Now look at this, Cyrix. He's already got the sniper rifle out. He's already tagging things down. Oh, the collateral tactile helping out as well. So much damage already, and this one should be an eco bash.
A little bit of damage there on Decoy, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like you say, it's all about the eco frags. Oh, nice shot.
Ooh.
Ultimately, he's smashed as well. Only a singular frag headed towards the side of the fourth quarter as the Pond continue to dominate.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzo, he's continuing to impress. I always very much like to cover this guy. Again, playing on that KSU roster, and he's very, very impressive with what he's able to do. He's one of the heavier firepower pieces alongside some of his premier player backups, and Brett and Slight, who are also in this tournament, which is kind of fun to see. Might have to see there. Either way, kicking things off in this bonus round here, and look how much damage has already been done.
It's a nasty work early on as well. Don't ever want to be in this scenario. But it is 1-for-1 trading, technically. And with the rifles in hand, there is still an advantage for the T side. So fourth quarter, not quite out of this one yet. You can see how far back this Pawn roster are playing in this 8 position. They don't want any part of this.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little bit hesitant here for sure. They're trying to let them collapse onto this site right now. Super Rush, this is a very long-range angle to take with only an MP9. His AKs are turning the corner here, and he's got his flashbang out, caught blindsided. Now it just leaves one in the pit. Cyrix, the scouts might not be the best weapon, but he's doing more damage still. A couple tagging around in the apartment side of things, and that's Seb to find the sideline. I'm probably going to trigger a save from slugging Coil, though I see them moving pretty quickly. Down Banana.
What can this retake entail? That low HP didn't really seem to matter. Nice openings in towards A. That being said, that just allows for the retake to be so much more possible, even with an MP9 like Koi has. But I think he's just exits is what Koi's looking for, and ultimately just going to upgrade to the AK and get the heck out of Dodge.
Not a bad idea. Big upgrade right there. You'll take that any day of the week, but still a little bit of cause for concern for the Pawn. I think that Subarashi right there got caught very, very much so off guard and might need to trigger a little bit of a save. This guns should be good to buy up here. Another Sluggy or Koi could probably drop Subarashi and all as well. They'll actually get a decent gun round and a decent chance to reply back on the fourth quarter here.
Let's see what that reply entails. As the Pawn buying up, like you say, the money's good. You have plenty to work with and basically full utility as well. That's exactly the types of things you would want to see. And early nades going out. See where those trades go. Oh, that should be pretty good. That HE and Koi. Oh.
Ooh. Burn, baby, burn. How goes Koi? A bit of a heated Pawn there, apparently. Oh, Cyrix, he's trying to retaliate. He's trying to find an answer here. He's got to be so very careful because there's a couple players waiting around the corner, MD and Seb. There's no way if you find one, you're not going to get the other. This is too hard, and he just turns the corner around to two. The patience paying off here so far.
I really love how slow fourth quarter I've decided to kind of play these rounds so far. That default working beautifully, and obviously you're not going to find a kill with the molly every round, but when you do, it's really fantastic.
Right there, they're walking into Sluggy. He's an absolute turret. He's found so much. 4 kills as they all walk in one by one. No one can reply. How on earth do you get away with something like that? Leaves Seb in 1v2. Wondering how he's gotten here. There's a molly delay at this point. Not quite in time. Just get thrown down here. So that's one less molly in the pockets for this retake. And it allows for a reposition. Seb working that gap of the CT smoke. I think he's been spotted though. So they have an idea that he's in new box. They're going to slowly work their way around Coffin. Seb not showing his position just yet. So patient behind the new box. All players coming in one direction. Seb's going to peek it. Nice angle. Takes the first approach. Tactile around the corner. Flashbang off of the pillar right there. He's throwing another one. Trying to buy time. And he's done so well at it. Seb has already expired this round. Subarashi able to hit the headshot. Is there enough time for the defuse though? There might just be.
Yeah, I think he's just going to pull this one. And indeed he does. Subarashi, a nice find. And Seb playing that about as well as you could hope, realistically. Though I will say, maybe could have played the ring around the rosy for a little bit longer. Who knows? Subarashi closing in, though. Buyback is here for fourth quarter, but it's actually an AWP for lesser. Not something you always see on the T side of Inferno, but certainly can be doable. Here's the run boost, and it's denied. Oh, lesser says goodbye to Cyrix.
Not letting Cyrix get activated on the up, but tactile. What was that adjustment?
What?
He turned his attention away, but turns it right back on a dime. Seb, he's taken care of. It equalizes though in the 4v4, and there's still a big HP advantage as well. Maintained full banana control. They are developing really crucial parts of the map so far. A good sign here for fourth quarter to try and recover.
See, Luck just trying to find some angles on the edge of this smoke. Ultimately, he's not going to find much of anything, but that is a good position to kind of lock yourself into, especially if there's any sort of aggression. But I don't know that that's going to come to fruition. Is to me that fourth quarter very much interested in executing here. And there goes the smokes. Flashes to come, I would think. There they are. Luck on the first fight. It's both players to go down. Gonzo and Luck do fall. And it's looking worse and worse. Is MD going to have to find a successful entry? Does eventually do just that. One more thing on the site. In Sluggy, you have to deal with him.
God.
He's still alive and kicking. And now all the rotations have come in. Beautiful work here for the Pond.
I mean, I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried because you tried Sluggy once. He sprayed 4 people down. You tried him again, and he gets 3 this time. That is incredible. Sluggy, he's just not giving them a chance to be site. It's not for the taking so far. You can only pretty much choose A, and even still, there's so many players on this side of the map. You got Cyrix ready with the op so far. Yet to have too much crazy impact, but I'm sure that once he gets activated, he will. That's great. Push into Sluggy once again. Boy, he's taking care of him. Maybe they have found an answer because both of them are on the ground and B's wide open.
Oh, you didn't know the strategy of just W key with Tech 9s? Come on. Cyrix. He's fought one back, and OMD. This is a pretty good setup. They've got players on both angles. Crossfire. And Lester is shutting down the flank. It's now Cyrix all alone, and he's dinked and dunked on. Fourth quarter. They pick up the pace, and goal. They find all the success.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, B-Rush is, seems to be so often the answer, and certainly the case that previous round. They're going to continue to invest over on the Pond. Going for the Eagle, going as hybrid. You got Sluggy still on that gun. Should be still promising. Lesser on the op though once again. He's been able to take down Cyrix before, looking for multiples in this head-to-head matchup. Subarashi actually interested in peeking down. First step up from MD. Was able to scare him off that further control.
Back down a little bit is MD, but that's probably going to be okay. Like that smoke in order to answer back immediately to what could have been potential bracket control coming in. So with that, we slow things down just a little bit here. Fourth quarter. Not really committed either direction, A or B. Just looking for that information, hoping to find an opening frag, but there's none been given away. The passivity of the pawn is something to be honestly admired considering the weaponry.
Yeah, a lot of times you can get a bit antsy. So you've been patient about holding this angle here. He's got a smoke in reserve as well. Koi's playing over in the new box position. Might be waiting to get the smoke down. No, just holding the angle all the while, but now at least his teammate hanging out to dry here. Getting mollied off. Koi forced to swing in front of them all, and that's just not going to work. Sluggy trying to maneuver around the smoke now, and Coffin's able to deliver one, but needs a whole lot more. Does double down, one up high. Luck is going to take care of him, though, and it's equalized into a 3v3. Has yet to be planted finally. Left. How do we get those numbers punched into the boost? That smoke is faded away. The shot being missed on both sides of things. So we maintain the 3v3. The attempt to retake here, the reposition in towards Coffin. Super Rush, he somehow wins that fight, though. Still, Seb and Luck able to hold on. Cyrix left last alive, and Seb able to connect the transfer and find both.
Got a little dicey there for fourth quarter, but ultimately they do pull it back. It was against the, half buy, I guess is the right terminology. It was sort of one of those quasi buys where not everybody's fully invested, but not everybody has got money for the next round, and you can see why. The Zeus in the hands of Sluggy, along with a Deagle for Cyrix, who's looking to find some headshots. Everybody, I should say 3 players, move in towards Banana. And Lester's already found Cyrix, so no more Deagle in the vest. Rosh, he's going to be the one to pick that one up.
He's tactile full HP right now. No one's been able to shoot him. He's just spamming down with the USB. No big deal there. Waiting to see if this Zeus can have any fun. Couple right around the corner, baiting him in right now. There he goes. Like he's gonna grab one. That's his 11th kill. Lovely stuff. $200 gun right there. Super Rush trying to bait out shots, and this one should come collapsing. We'll see if there's any chip games that they can do on their way out, though.
Interesting situation, especially with Koi on the back of the site. Oh, but he's peaked a little bit too soon. And this should be the cleanup. Realistically, a really good round from fourth quarter, as they don't have much with regard to players falling. Luck the only one down, and yeah, Subarashi is looking for something on the exit, but they can deny him as well.
Be able to do so. He's still effective on the Deagle, but they're just not giving him the real chance to grab any of these guns. They will head down Banana. Seb might turn the corner, but again, look how patient they are. They're just grouped up. So very careful. No mistakes being made. Locked in, laser focused right now is like the fourth quarter. That's a good sign. What they're going to need. Take on some of the firepower. We've already seen what they can do so far. The Pond. We've already seen Sluggy in particular. Just have it incredible rounds. We'll see if that keeps up the pace and if fourth quarters can continue to do a good job at shutting this Inferno down and getting a nice healthy T side.
Yeah, and beyond that, we talked about how maybe this is a little bit of an interesting decision to go for Inferno. Well, it certainly started out about as well as you could ask for a T side. 4-4 certainly ain't too shabby.
Yeah, and honestly, it's been more and more common for teams to struggle on their T side. To be honest with you, it's with this new A1S change and money kind of being more so less of a factor with that less cost A1S. It's that has been more CT sided the game as a whole. So getting yourself a nice and comfortable 5-6 rounds on the T side might really lend yourself into the second half here. Gonzo, some chip damage to the smoke. Take it down to 42. Certainly deterred from aggressing any further.
1 minute. Taking away. nothing really found. I mean, a bit of damage to both sides, lots of utility being thrown out. And I guess that's the big deal. The Pawn, they've got one smoke, two flashes, and a little else to work with. The decoy, sure, but everything else here for fourth quarter, they're loving life. Maybe on the Cyrex, misses the shot. Has to fall back. He's met Subarashi, who goes down. It's a bit of a one-for-one trade considering the Molotov, and now Cyrex looking for the no-scope on that one. Lesser puts him to bed. Ultimately, it's a 2-for-2 on the entry. Nice Molotov to deny Tactile as well.
And the post plan on the A bomb site, hardest to retake, and this round is no exception. There's no utility at all here for this boy and Sluggy left out to dry right now. Oh, and there's one hit. Big advantage for Seb. Waiting around that corner, off angle. No way you're expecting that, and triggers quite a save. There you go. They take the lead right there. Fourth quarter. They're looking very, very poised to do some damage right now. They are very impressive, and Lesser in particular, consistently winning out in some of these op duels versus Cyrex, which a Premier level upper. He's played for ATK. I believe he's currently playing in Premier right now as well.
Yeah.
So very lethal.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, again, you know, against Lesser, who just a season ago was in May as well. So that definitely is huge. And it just kind of shows, I think, you know, Lesser's improvement over the last season in advance and everything like that. So nonetheless, here we go. It's fourth quarter on another anti-eco. Boy has bought in, but everyone else has Deagles, 5-7, and, well, no armor really. Sluggy and Subarashi being the exceptions to that rule.
Do a little apartments movement. Trying to find some early pickoffs, but again, this patience has been a real strong suit for a fourth quarter. Bit of a missed jump there from MD. We'll wipe that one off. So I won't be so happy when Subarashi pushes right after you miss the jump and you get taken care of. That's a little bit more punishment. Still into a 4v5, and again, that weaponry advantage, though, it's very strong here still. So while it creates a bit of hesitation in the default, still opportunities to bounce back.
And to be fair, MD, I think he's been there a couple of times, has made some noise a couple of times, and has at least been shot at a couple of times because of it. So, not at all unreasonable. The answer is going to be the bracket control being gained off the back of that smoke. And Arch side entirely in control of fourth quarter. I like the responses here by the Pawn. How many shots getting hit? The answer for Subarashi's absolutely none. Tactile. Good for one, but then falls as well. Damage already looking pretty good for the CT side, but now with the plant going down and Gonzo hitting shots like that on the Cyrex, you got to imagine there's going to be limited success here. The Pawn pushed back in.
Sir, I mean, he doesn't even push forward. He holds his angle so perfectly. We'll get straight there pretty quickly, but still doesn't leave much opportunity. Just a crossfire. Watching Koi. He's off to safe here. He's called it. Giving this one up right there, and an incredible recovery right there. Perfect read. They wrap Arch side in the 4v5 when the gamble stack with the pistols is 3 towards B. Really smart coming through from fourth quarter. Just excellent reading of the situation. Not going to read this corner, and oh, the Deeg spam. Good. We'll be able to connect onto the head, and we'll be able to bring his op into the next. Send that one over Cyrix's way.
I guess the good news for fourth quarter is that the start of this round with Lesser and Seb had 11k plus. That was a very expensive one for them. Only one player surviving. They give away the AWP as well, so Lesser's bought that back. And AWP enhanced Cyrex. He's gone over here towards Banana. Nobody's home. Aggressive push here. MD's gonna know. Has to be aware based off the footsteps and the information. Meanwhile, this push in towards A, in towards Arch. Gonzo falls, but Seb's there for the trade.
Good reactions here. The banana control triggers an arch side wrap pretty quickly, but the issue is Sluggy and Cyrix have made the rotations in time off of Koi holding down the entirety of banana. He can quick rotate over, and Cyrix starting to warm up into the server, able to connect a couple of shots. MD left last alive, and not much you can do realistically. Position now revealed here. Koi holding a waiting for that flashman to come around the corner. So connected though. MD, an absolute monster. And the Pawn do bounce back a little bit, but they need to string some rounds together.
I will say, gotta give credit to the Pawn. That rotation, the speed with which they came from that B hold, you know, really locking down banana back in towards spawn was phenomenal. I mean, it was blink of an eye type of stuff. So, despite the fact that fourth quarter have a lead, the Pawn certainly ain't out of this yet. No, Cyrix, he's looking for early swing. Not yet, not now. He is looking for the alt mid swing, and there it is. Lesser, he's finally put to bed by Cyrix.
There you go. Cyrix giving him a taste of his own medicine, finding the opening pick this time onto Lesser rather than vice versa. That utility throwing down towards A is pretty quick. A execution coming out. Have a false pop actually, and Gonzo and MD are both able to find success here. And oh my god, Super Ashi goes down as well. What?
Glocks. Might I add. That was a Glock kill. He got around. Oh man.
Oh no.
This is
that
falling
was
apart.
a massive, just very snap decision making right there to pop out of the halls that quickly. They had the smokes, they had to execute all in a matter of seconds. It was so well coordinated, and despite even that Opper and Lesser getting taken down early on, they were still able to make that decision not quickly.
This is a really strong showing from fourth quarter. You know, on paper, this game I think is an interesting one just because of, you know, the firepower that the Pawn have. You know, with the leadership skills that Koi pulls in, you know, and that knowledge and everything. But this fourth quarter roster, you know, they've got consistency at the very least. Sure, might not be the at the very highest level, but certainly good.
They got a little bit of a core they can work with. I will say, I do recall some information that Koi had been helping Solgo on Inferno, so I imagine that Koi, well versed in Inferno, knows the map pretty well. Over on the helping out Mouse Sports, I'm sure he's got some good knowledge on this map in particular. So, stack over 3 towards B in the early stages of this round. They're kind of tempted to take this control. They're not fully committed though to this control of banana, and instead they kind of late fall off. Give a little bit of those resources early on to that control, but then the giveaway here with 1 minute and 15 still left on the clock and limited utility, it's a little bit worrisome.
Even more worrisome is the, I mean, feels like maximum level of utility that the Spawn side are kind of walking in with. That being said, that's a great way to manufacture yourself into a round. Hacked out. He's getting towards the position to try and answer this back, but he's denied. It's MD on the frag, and now it's an open A site. Rotations are coming, but they should be running, and yes, they are. This is going to be another save, Cole.
I mean, Lesser's just cracking these sites open time and time again. I mean, that 2 rounds prior, or last round rather, it was an exception. He goes down early, but they still recover. Wait, there's another example. He's just patiently waiting over towards stairs, and eventually Subarashi either getting a little too antsy for information. I don't know what the case was, but peeks down middle and gives up the game a little bit. Now the hunt is on. They're chasing these weapons down. A lot around the corner. Cyrix holding this long range angle. Sluggy up close. So they should be able to have a nice coffin setup combined with that new box position. Boy, it's going to be very hard to drop these guns, I will say, but maybe there's opportunities arising. Boy, gotta be careful. They're pushing you, but that backup has arrived. Alright, saving the day. He goes down. That's the op dropped. Sluggy and Koi might be able to hold onto the rifles, but maybe not. That's big.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about Cyrix and how much impact he can have on the AWP. I think second on the leaderboard, 10 to 11 as well behind Sluggy. We've had some of those phenomenal, sight holds for 3 kills at a time. Now it's really not a possibility. Rifles across the board, yeah, and they can't be sluggy. To me, like, fourth quarter, sort of baiting at this pace change. Look at how much utility they forced out early. I love that call from fourth quarter. They have done a phenomenal job here at convincing the pawn that they need to invest heavily in their utility. And now look at it. It's near empty.
Yeah, I mean, Koi's just thrown the last B smoke as well. So you think about what that means with a minute left on the clock. You're going to have a hard time dealing with the execution that could come your way. Right now, they've even stacked over 4 players towards A. A bit of a misread right now because B up banana. That's where the bomb lies. That's where most of the presence here from fourth quarters lies as well. Ready to execute. And it's a complete gamble. They're just going for a big 50-50 risk. And the issue is wrong at the moment.
Well, that smoke is going to give some information to hold off on the rotate. Here comes the push to D. It's all in a Koi. Shot. Not going to connect, but does find that second frag. Ultimately does fall into MD. Some spam damage through. There's some significant hurt put down on towards Luck and Seb. It's 4v4. Very little. A singular flashbang to work with on the back of Cyrix. And here comes Sluggy and Tactile around the corner. This is a good hold from Lester. Connecting the shot. Now they know. Flash. He's got another one. He's blind, and it's good. Tactile does trade, but MD with a double. Closing things down. And it's fourth quarter to take number 9.
You're so lights out right now. Fourth quarter. Looking like a force to be reckoned with. At the moment, no one is able to cross Lester's line either. He's having a great game on that AWP. I mean, you have entry prowess coming through from the likes of MD as well. Hey, you got so much going for you. It is incredible. And now you got Sluggy hold all the banana with the Deagle right now. Koi's a little bit removed from the situation. Trying to take that utility. That's a great need to counter it. A little bit of chip damage off of Luck. But again, there's not much presence that you could bring into this round.
How many times are we going to watch that go through? Rashi wants it, but MD hits the shot. He can't make that jump, but he can hit that shot.
He's trying to draw that Subarashi's attention right there. He's like, hey, I know you went for this once. I'm not going to let it happen again. I think he just needs to hit some of the KZ servers. By the way, execution. Would be, very much so. The execution lining in towards A, though. And again, there's slacking presence here. It's only 2 players. Archside completely vulnerable. Luckily, Cyrix is holding down brackets. But once this execution comes, the flashbang's running on in. It's not going to be an easy hold.
Such a weird smoke. Ooh. That's the first player go by. There goes that push. But again, it's a big W. MD. He's just connecting shot after shot. This man's unstoppable. AWP, why not? I'll take it. Might find another one here. Oh, and he does have the opportunity, but misses his mark. The bomb can go down. It's looking like it might be 10-5. Sluggy trying to answer back. Has found one of his own.
And Dion for the ace here. It'd be nice. They're both kind of heading in that direction. Lester's going to probably shut that avenue down, though, with this op shot. Look, he's not going to be able to cross the line. And it will take a 4K home. He'll take that one. MD. Huge round from him. Just massive openers time and time again. Lester helping out right there. But it was a full team effort. Luck not having to do too much when you have Gonzo, MD, Seb, and Lester all just hovering around double digits. Looking just so very good.
Looking incredible. They are in the pond. What do you think needs to change here? Come the second half. Because the big problem is it's not like this was a bad T side. This was a bad CT side.
Yeah, it looked incredibly disjointed on the CT side. The rotations were always a bit late. There was never any of the mid-rounding that needed to come through in terms of taking risks, taking map control, and particularly towards Banana. A lot of that was either given up pretty quickly after the util ran dry and it was never really maintained. So it does kind of lend itself to comfortable T side when you're able to just work those defaults and 4v4 situations at many of the times.
Certainly does. Down our Devon here in map number 1, but we gotta keep in mind the fourth did pick this again. You know, we were thinking that's a little bit weird. Maybe we were just not aware of something. Either way, flashbang to initially deny any repeats here. Banana, see that to default. Flash allows Recep to find one, but he's traded immediately thereafter.
Push through the smoke there. Luck's good for one as well. That's all he'll gather here in the bomb site. Compromise. Subarashi holding down the flank. Lesser not expecting that angle at all. Subarashi cleans up both of them. So there you go. That's an important bounce back for the pawn, not allowing for the economy to get rolling early on, not allowing for fourth quarter to have that comfortable push to, say, a 12th round off that pistol conversion. And I think they're going for the full eco in the second round. So these AKs, these MAC-10s are going to chew straight through these USPs. And likely, the pawn will continue to close this gap here. I like the stack they got going on towards A. Oh, this is lovely. Oh my god.
That is incredible.
Who's going to be the poor soul walking around that corner?
Yeah, for real. No, it might not be anybody, technically.
Mm-hmm. And Cyrixon as the probe. He would have been the poor soul if they wanted to try that A bomb site right now, but they're going to use that MAC-10 as kind of a throwaway gun here to try and find the stack that fourth quarter's going for. The issue is it's just not the right stack position, so all should be going pretty good here for Cyrix and the rest of the pawn.
Yeah. 5 USPSs wouldn't have been ideal no matter how you slice it. But now you got to retake with 5 USPSs. It's even worse somehow. Spotting them out. Hitting all the bullets, but can't quite hit all the shots. Speaking of shots, Luck hits those. As a bit of a entourage comes to hunt down and take out all of the rest of these players. Now it's just Luck who has the rifle. How many can you find, Luck? Well, not being in the right direction there. Oh, and it's all over. Can't quite find it. Not the save. 7 to 10. Good start.
Cyrix is well able to grab that AK, which is nice. Technically only lost one MAC in that round, so the pawn winning that one cleanly. He's going to build up a bit of a bank. Seb is immediately purchasing the op here. It's actually not in the hands of Lesser. Seb has a glass cannon at the moment, so maybe that's the reason as to why he's not tossing that one over and grabbing himself an A1S, but interesting decision here. We'll see how it works out. Seb will pull down the B bomb site for position at the moment. And again, a lot of control given over, but with that option, it should be a little bit easier so given.
Yep. Early banana control being gained here by the pawn. Using some Molotov flashes to great effect. I think it's true over here at Bracket. And prepped and ready here is Luck. Shut any sort of push down. And that is going to be the push. Looks like B.
Ready for that counter molly. He's waiting on Seb's call at the moment. Take that first point of contact before he throws that one down. In the meantime, though, Tactile's found a success over on the opposite side of the map. Catching that lurk down in the early stages. Tactile just traded, though. Through the smoke, Luck sees all of them. Seb not available for help here. Subarashi stepping towards tree, not heard, but Seb turns around. He's a wise to it. He will find the equalizer. 3v3. A workable retake, but there's only one smoke and no kits.
Tough loss there on the injury there, Lesser. Say no kits is a problem. Hanzo trading. It still leaves Seb up in hand and too many players to try and fight all alone. He's going to try and get out. Does he get it? Yo. Come back for more?
No.
Why has he done that? Seb? No reason to get greedy, mate.
Oh.
But toward the quarter, once again, down, and this time it's the gun round.
You would have really liked to have that one in the next round, wouldn't you? It would at least give you a chance. Maybe to purchase some armor around it. Have some better imps. Doing some damage, keeping that economy of the pond honest. In this case, really only working with pistol upgrades at the moment. Armor in the hands of Seb, or on the body of Seb, I should say. Lacking that head Kevlar, and lacking the HP as Gonzo as he burns to the molly after catching an HE right to the face.
It's just 2 rounds the deficit. Well, it's like I think another opening there on the luck, trying to make just one. Seems like just an inevitability at this point. Once again, nice entries for Sluggy, but the pond in perfect position to at least start to try and game tied. Some damage done. Tactile, but it's certainly not enough. Neither of those pistols can find anything at all. 9-10.
Not too bad. I'm almost immediately answering back, and maybe this T side is all that the pond needed to maybe get rid of those team play problems and really lean on the firepower aspect of this roster more so than anything. Because right now they are certainly doing that with these 4 rounds strung together. Now they're up against the 7 round once again. Lesser almost gets things off, so very close to that mark. They're a bit high. Look at this. This is what Anakin was talking about. Sluggy, speaking of team play issues, gonna take down his teammate. It's your own friends.
Not ideal. This could be a turning point for a couple of reasons. As I say that, on with enough money to buy back in regardless of the outcome. Unless we're getting spammed just a little bit, taking some damage for the trouble as well. There's still 5 left alive though, and fourth quarter are still in pretty darn good positions as well. 55 seconds to work with, and by the looks of the rotations, it's going to be a B hit.
Yeah, luck in an incredible angle should be at least good for one. There's even a smoke to be thrown down here as well. Only eventually will be thrown in towards new box. Retreat not available. Sluggy though destroys the lock and Seb through the smoke. Taken care of by Cyrix. There's a flank fast from Tactile. That's been heard. Lesser realizing potential. Oh, send that ragdoll flying away. It won't change the outcome of this round. I don't think. It seems like they're off the save.
No. Oh. Man, so very close to death are Cyrix, Subarashi, but nonetheless, this is exactly the sort of thing that you would like to see, and exactly the sort of round win you'd like to see, with the saves going out, trying to buy back, trying to get everything needed into the next round. It's gonna be a little tough though, and even worse, it's tied game 10-all.
Yeah, quick bounce back right there. I mean, so far in the second half, it's been a real story of the pond. Shutting things down here, no questions asked. Up in the hands of lesser maintained. Still another good chance with the guns, but right there they had a prime opportunity to shut down a 4v5. Playing some nice angles, but you can see how good this pond roster is. With some of their opening capabilities with Sluggy in particular. Oh, we got cameras.
Let's go.
Look at this. Very nice. I love that so much. We got Sluggy close by over on the right side of your screen there. Lesser, though, peeking down mid. Look at that opening frag right there. Again, onto Cyrix. Head-to-head, it will continue. This time, Cyrix fighting the bullet.
Head, so good. Gonzo, he's actually phenomenal at this angle. We've seen him here time and time again. And he gets away with one frag and gets out of dodge as well. Fourth quarter, he needed to answer back, and Lesser, he's got more!
My God.
He's got 3 on the round. Phenomenal work from the opper of fourth quarter. It's all on the Sluggy. He's done some really strong fragging this game, but he needs a 1v5 here, and I mean, I hesitate, but that might be something to call a task. And Seb puts him to bed before the questions can even be raised. It's 11 as fourth quarter retake the lead.
In conversion right there. With 4 players remaining, you'll take that. You'll start to build a bank, and that's your first round of the CT half. Has to be a big reliever. Knowing that you've won it, you've given yourself a bit of cushion here. Even if you lose this, you'll still be able to keep some of those guns being brought out. Right? And a triple banana setup coming through, trying to take that early control, something we didn't see all that often. From the Pawns T side, they're ready with some utility. They're trying to dive down banana at the moment. Molly to try and counteract some of this aggression here and maintaining of the control. Now, at least for the car, he's held from slugging. This is like having that smoke. Lux got to get away, and he just barely able to turn the corner to stay alive.
Here's Lesser posted for that frag. Gonna be finding it just yet. In fact, finds just a smoke grenade. But, as I see that fourth quarter, they're down pretty heavily. It'll be all about these tools. There's one of them. And Lesser connects once again.
Again, they're just going to rely on this B side, though, to try and open up things. It's been spotted. Seb has to retreat. They still have luck boosted. Watching CT spawn at the moment. Subarashi's causing attention to be turned in the opposite direction towards A. Lucky down. Luck goes down in the meantime. Sluggy and Koi cracking open that B bomb site right there. And now it's going to be a retake from 2 A players here. With the banana, though. That could be a promising sign.
I like this a lot. And Smoke does a wonderful job. But unfortunately, it's actually going to be a save. I'm not sure about that. They got so far in, so far forward. At that point, you might as well just try it. Especially when you're only one man down. But nonetheless, you're going to give it away. It's going to be 11-all is that score line. And I don't know. What do you think? Right decision or wrong on that save call, Cole?
It's a tough decision for sure. It's hard to find a retake when you're down a man. The crossfires were going to be very strong. That Coffin's control as well. They had all of that back hall area. And so retakes, they do kind of inch towards unlikely. So saving, I think, was a safer play for sure. But again, it's all about not allowing for your team to get that 16 mark. And if you continue to save, if you can continue to concede rather than go for big plays such as that, maybe that could be a key to the pawn closing this out. And rather, fourth quarter's dropping their map pick. Either way, Lesser, you can be a key to winning things. And if he opens up rounds like that, you can continue to do so.
Lesser has been the crucial player here. Oh, he nearly found another one. But he's got Gonzo for help. What a great setup in mid. And this might be the catalyst for another lead for fourth quarter. That said, Cyrix and Sluggy, the dynamic duo, have been really phenomenal thus far. Oh, I was a little bit too close for comfort. Head very much nearly there. Oh, but I couldn't Molotov. There's still a minute to play with, but it now confirms, hey, these guys are here. And we're looking for the entry. Has every bit of idea.
What's going on?
And Cyrix finds 2. What has happened? It was 2 versus 5. Now it's a 2 versus 2.
Oh, this has all gone wrong here. No way you could lose around like this. This is a 2v5. And Cyrix was able to crack it open. He's holding the backline. I don't even know if they're able to rotate this way. It's going to be so hard to pass Cyrix's op. Pure Lesser has a position posted up. Flashbang's going to be good. Cyrix avoiding it. And the turnaround, perfect from MD. Puts Sluggy into a 1v2 position, holding back in that CT spawn area. But Lesser's good for the trade. He has a kid as well. And this should be good for the closer to take a 12. But that was a 2v5. Becomes a 1v1 quickly. There we have it.
I mean, they looked amazing, Sluggy and Cyrix.
Moving forward here. 11 to 12. Fourth quarter taking the lead right now. Has to be a good feeling, that's for sure.
Certainly is.
Boost.
Oh, just do it again. I don't blame Cyrix for not giving him that opportunity. Yeah, Cyrix takes those. Lesser down, but Luck has Koi out as well. A nice molly to deny the exit, or at least force some damage onto Luck. Ultimately, it doesn't really do its job as effectively as it could have, but still a 1-for-1 trade, and with Lesser falling, that's a big piece of this fourth quarter roster that is no longer a threat.
I mean, he's been such an effective opener for this team, and this time he's taken down. A Sluggy, barely spotted on the entrance, is going to bait out that smoke coming through. But even still, there's a lot of presence to be made, and another smoke over towards B. So for first time in a long time, they're going to try their luck towards this A bomb site, it seems. Trying to hit two players. It's certainly the lacking bomb site in terms of defenses. MD here, alongside Gonzo. It's a lot of firepower, sure, but there's not a lot of players. And there you go, the turn back towards B. The execution there, continuously relying on this bomb site as their bread and butter. We'll see if they can crack it open again.
Look, playing around the back halls here. Sluggy clearly looking for someone to get pushed out. That smoke allows Seb to stay alive far longer than he should. Patience from Seb. You gotta love it. And the blind is so good. That's Seb. That's Luck. All involved as Subarashi fights back, but he's all alone. No chance he can pull this 1v3. I say that. Oh, he's denied. 13-11 Colt. It's fourth quarter. We continue to find some success late into this game.
Yeah, I mean, what a resurgence. We saw 5 rounds strung together from the pond. In the fourth quarter, they seem to have found their stride here in this matchup. They're feeling more and more comfortable on that CT side. They've been able to have a little bit of a better presence holding down these key bomb site in a way that we do not exactly see all that often so far in those first initial 5 rounds that the pond were able to grab. And so reacting to this nicely as fourth quarter. Tactical timeout called out, I imagine, from the pond, trying to discuss things, trying to figure out how they can close this one out. But right now, certainly looking like a save is in the picture.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, they've taken the timeout here. And yeah, definitely the right timing to do that. But you're right. Here's the save. It's going to be a little bit of armor for Cyrix. Same for Subarashi. It's Tech 9s along with the Deagle. Cyrix has a lot of util. But this is a nice little off angle for Lesser. Is he going to be given anything? It doesn't look like it, at least not initially. So Cyrix is the one who's still sitting around in bottom mid with all that util. More than likely just going to be a bit of a waterfall.
Yeah, not a bad reaction as well, considering there's no one here, Cyrix. Oh, okay, luckily MD has his back. But this is going to be a bomb plan at the very least. 4v4 as well. Lesser's gone down. That's a big pickup from Subarashi. This round becomes possible at the moment. My God. And it's an A-side retake as well. There's no smokes to recycle towards Moto, but there's still good post plants here.
Good news is that op was not able to be recovered, so at the very least, that's not something to contend with. Here's Koi on the site. One frag, looking to find some more, and through the smoke, Tactile, who's found it. MD on the trade. 2 versus 1. MD's low and Seb up top. Tactile hears all this going on. They're not looking the right direction. It's spamming through, and Tactile has it. There's no way to defuse. The pond on an eco nonetheless.
Oof.
Answer at 12-13.
That's a heartbreaker right there on the cams. You could see the reaction. Fourth quarter, a bit heartbroken, a bit punished. It's gotta hurt. They were so very close. They were starting to make a rally on that CT side, and then to get ecoed at a time like this could be a disaster. It's going to be 13s almost guaranteed unless they can give an eco of their own, which is very possible. Specifically, you got Gonzo with the Deagle on armor, and we've already seen broadcasting collegiate what he can do with the Deagle. Might not even be required. That's an AK retrieved, or rather an A1S retrieved in the hands of Luck. Not a bad start.
AKA 1S regardless, it's potentially deadly. I like this little boost. MD finding some information. Ultimately, it looks to be a B attack, but there's still so much time to play with. As I say that, though, smoke, flash, everything you would want goes Alonso into the open, and unfortunately, he cannot hit shots. Rotations have made it in. MD, who's forced back for just the time being. Massive damage in towards Koi, but he's still staying alive. Rashi shuts down the flank.
The numbers starting to dwindle here. I imagine that's going to be the A1S being held onto deep in spawn. That's the case for Luck. Seb hanging around with the USP. Any damage he can do would be nice. It's just so unlikely. Again, it's back to the B bomb site, honestly. They had that 1-8 eco rush that worked wonders for them towards that A bomb site, but for the most part, B bomb site has been the target of the pond so consistently. Oh, he does grab on his way out. Nice. Lovely stuff. We'll see if he can find anything else. He is very low in HP. This bomb will do him in. It's that super rush on the way out.
A little bit of econ damage, but honestly, that's sort of null and void. The money's strong enough for the pond for them to be fine no matter. And it's fourth quarter. We've been tied once again, who now have to answer back. Opt for lesser. A1S is across the board for everyone else. A little bit light on the utility and all. Cyrix just lightens the load for lesser. Says, no, you don't need to worry about taking shots. Al got you.
Another one of those head-to-heads that we see between those two players. And this time, Cyrix pulling it out at a very crucial time, but they're still walking into this strong porch side setup. So they're still going to be down a man despite best efforts coming through from Cyrix. He's now sidelined and back towards B, back to the bread and butter of the pond. How many times have we seen this? A success limited, all just to lead into B bomb site execute. Molly's good, sure, but it's not going to deter them for much longer. Sluggy, lucky to stay alive there with that spam through the smoke. No coffin smoke as well, so comfortable plant is going to roll on through, sure, but they've still got a man advantage that they can work off of. Potential for the boost, maybe. That smoke's going to fade away soon.
Look at the retake. They got 3 smokes to work with if they want it. 3 flashes as well, the first of which already gone. Comes smoke. Boy denied. Oh, what a shot by Sluggy. And Subarashi on the follow through. Seb now 1 versus 1. That bomb is ticking, and it has been for a while. Another smoke to go down on towards the bomb, and he can't quite find it. Seb is denied the defuse inside the smoke. It's pawned at 14-13. And potential here for map point.
And oh man, running out of opportunities here to stay alive. It's the fourth quarter. This is their last stand to avoid putting this one out in regulation. With the pistols is all they have to work with at the moment. That's an SHE as well. Nope, Seb down early, although Gonzo is able to make good use of the Deagle over on the A-bomb site. So you'll take that, a 4v4. A weird one to get there, but still workable.
Boy just had to answer, you know, the one time he got burned on the CT half, so I had to do that to an opponent. I do love that we're seeing the save come through. It's a difficult decision to make, especially when, you know, your map pick is on the line. But it's ultimately the right call. You've won some of these gun rounds really well. It's realistic you could send that to overtime in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's only 2 rounds. Close the distance now. It's almost guaranteed less loss. Well, a miracle. Okay, Subarashi close by for the trade. He was honestly low on HP as well. They didn't have bomb. Oh my god. Oh, that would have been crazy. All right.
Sluggy is 33-15, by the way.
It's just a typical LAN performance from Sluggy. He's been quite a traveler himself. I believe he was at the last Dibba LAN, that is, not LAN. But he's been participating in many of the frag events here, so it's good to see him back. Good to see him firing on all 4 fours. This is a bit chaotic here in 15th round or 29th round. So yeah, and we got a smoke on top of the porch. We're all over the place.
I mean, I guess that could have been on purpose. There have been those forge setups before, but I somehow doubt it. And luck. Oh, don't give Cyrix an opportunity. Seb, though, to double up, and I didn't realize. He's got the secondary one on towards B, and he's denied Cyrix. So now there's no op to work with on this pawn side. And whilst that's not necessarily a problem, it does mean that, well, Cyrix being taken out is significant.
Yeah, it's a big pickup right there. It's equalized still. Imagine that this A side fake is going to lean in towards the B side finish here, as we typically see, but Lesser times that one to perfection. As soon as he tries to cross that one. 3v4. No, it does look like there's a little bit more commitment in towards this A-bomb site. We'll actually see them try and take this one on. But there's two players here committed on the stat. On the site, Tactile turn to the corner, still able to crack things open. There's another, though, MD hanging tall on the site. Boy, right around the corner, is able to deliver the trade. It equalizes into the 2v2. Not a lot of utility for this post plant. You're going to see Koi maybe trying to get in towards a better position. He is able to jump in towards mini pit. That's a big deal. A great post plant spot to be in. And is able to have backup for his teammate. The issue is there's so much retake utility to hold on to here for fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's the smoke. There's two mollies, one of which has already gone out. Clear out the backside box. And Sluggy take shots. Can't hit that one. Gonzo with the double. He's got them both. Close, but it's going to be 14 for fourth quarter. Well, they certainly are showing up here in the fourth quarter as they are nearly able to push us to OT. One more round to do it. And actually, look at the money here. The Pawn, they don't have everything they could want. It's a deal for Koi, a Mac 10 for Subarashi, and very limited utility for all but Sluggy.
These rounds have been pretty back and forth, so that money going to come into a factor here. They're just going for an all-out B-rush, though. They might not even need these AKs. They're trying to close the distance with the Mac 10, with the Deagle. Koi jumping around the corner. That molly's great, though. Perfectly timed. The op presence, even through the teammate, is still good for the kill. Rotates and Cavalry has arrived here onto the E-Palm site. Luck through the smoke fold. This is just what they need. 2v5 here, rather. Almost guaranteed. Going to overtime. What can Sluggy and Subarashi do to pull this one back?
I mean, last time that we were in this scenario, it ended in a 1v1. So, anything's possible.
True. Hanging about here. That's a nice clothesline from Luck. Massive impact here as he grabs two in the rounds. 1v5 for Subarashi. It would really require some heroics. See if he has anything else in him. Not quite. Seb. I don't even know. He just shot that straight through the coffins. That is unbelievable.
First series, first game, first map here at LAN. And it is already an overtime one. I mean, if this is anything to show for what we've got all weekend, I cannot wait.
Yeah, it started off pretty intense, hasn't it? First map, right into OT. Knew this one was going to be a close head-to-head. Man, oh man, has it delivered. Now we got the cams. Got Sluggy nearby. Lovely to see. Very exciting stuff.
Yes, sir. And Sluggy, speaking of the man himself, playing so phenomenally here in the opening series. It's really impressive. It's not always that you see, online play turn into success on LAN, and this is a good example of where it just has been an improvement.
Sure has. He's been so very lights out. 10K on the start money, though, for this one, so you gotta be careful with how you are playing the money game, especially on that CT side. You can't really afford to lose two in a row, can you?
And this double op investment especially means that things can get very expensive very fast. What's that? The utility problems are over, though. At least for the Pawn in these initial rounds. That's been part of their problem those last two, as they struggled with the late round utility because they were running out. This time, not so much. Flash and smokes to help out. Bracket control has been gained, but it doesn't look like it's actually going to be where the Vaughn are going to end things out. They head towards B.
Still working with that double op setup, though. It's been a real key to holding down this B bomb site. The full execution is lining on in. There's a front of sight smoke to lessen the fear of that op. Sub's going to be kind of isolated from the opportunities to find openers here. Watching that CG spawn line, Sluggy. If he jumps up any further, though, Gonzo's going to have him dead to rights here. A follow-up molly. But in the meantime, the Lesser taking him down here. They're pushing through the flames, and Sluggy down so very low before they ever even get a chance to take the fight. Zeb delivers the opening kill. Gonzo still the lines firing away. Subarashi eventual trade. But still such consolation prize as Zeb shuts things completely down. The double up continues to have effect on B.
Yeah, and let's not undersell Gonzo's performance right there either, because he was so patient, waited for so long, and the timing on that Molotov was so perfect. I mean, the Vaughn, they just had to run through it. They had no choice in the matter. They had sort of run out of time. They either had to go or fall back, and well, they ended up running through the molly on accident. Here goes that run boost. This time it's well done. Oh, and it's Lesser finding the success on towards Cyrix. From one bad round to bad start here. Vaughn looking down, not out.
In this head-to-head, man, the story of this matchup, it seems, but look at this gap. Tactile's found out of apartment to deliver for one. Gonzo struggling with the spray, but saves the Tactile. Gonzo barely able to hold on here with 3 HP to his name. There's no HEs, only one molly that can be thrown here. Need to buy time. Boy has that flame. Gonzo does have a smoke. He's transitioned into mini pit, though, in the meantime. That's the trajectory revealed. Subarashi has an idea. He's going to try and isolate this fight with the sight smoke, and that he does. Brilliant from Subarashi. Work the utility here, and Subarashi doubles down. Oh, with that moto smoke provided here, but there's a gap, and Luck is able to exploit it. Wait, the second struggling to track the remainder here, but he still gets out of dodge, and it still gives him a 2v2 post plant.
The fact that Luck gets out of there alive is outrageous. This is a really solid rotation for him as well. Zeb gonna wait for Luck to get into position and make his move. 2 mollies, 2 flashes actually. Zeb's gonna throw that one down here. May push one player out of his position. Oh, nice find. Now it's Luck versus 1, and Sluggy hits the shot. The health advantage was too strong. And the op is recovered. 34 for Sluggy.
Jeez. Man, how much can one man do? He's having a monstrous performance right now. 34 and 18. Incredible stuff. I mean, that's a big round. 16-16. You no longer have that double up presence as well towards B. That's the real kicker in this round for me. That's no longer afforded for you. Instead, you're going to have to go back to a B hold. That's been your struggle this entirety of the game. But look at this. What hasn't been struggling is Lesser finding opening picks with that AWP. He's been a real consistent force with that.
Who needs 2 ops when you got Lesser finding these opening frags? Really threading that needle. It was a hard shot to hit, and he hits it beautifully. So, out to deny Lesser just a little bit of information. Ultimately, though, so once again, a bit of a ruse. Nobody actually headed towards the A side of things. It's all going to be B. All top. There to try and deny entry. Doesn't work too well. Oh, the nade out is blocked. Sebdo back in the site. Still alive and kicking. Turns the chicken to a crisp. He's going to throw down a smoke to keep himself going. Oh, but Subarashi in that position. Wonderful work. And Seb still finds
Koi.
2. Koi, you can't be going for the knife. Not in this case. No freaking way.
I cannot believe my eyes. Oh, that's a big giveaway. This is overtime. You can't afford to be making those mistakes right now. Subarashi, we'll see if he can redeem Koi's money business. He's going to work up Banana. He's got this hard angle to clear. MD, he looks prepared for it, though. How is he wise to this? Oh, okay, no, he's turned his attention elsewhere. We're not going to check this one. It's unbelievable. Puts it into the 1v1. Low HP on through the likes of Seb. He's checking everything, though. New box is where he lies, and it seems like he has an idea. He's going to catch him off guard here, surely, and the timing works. Koi He might have went for the knife, but Subarashi says you can go for those. I'll cover you.
Oh, my heart can't handle this, Cole. The turns from the knife attempt from Koi to the triple kill for Seb to the 1v4 clutch by Subarashi. It's ultimately going to be the pawn coming out with 2-1 here in the opening half of OT. As it's fourth quarter, you go back to the T side. But remember, this is where we found a 10-5 half in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, they gave themselves a round to work with here. Maybe that's all they need if they can continue that sort of success like they had done in the first half of the game so far. So
should have been two. Should have had 2 rounds to work with.
True. That is, I mean, you bring up a great point. Yeah. My God, that was pure chaos in the last round of OT in the first half. This is the second half, though. Maybe we get a chance to wipe our slate clean here. It's still a bit of a lead and plenty of money to go around here. Actually picking up that double op setup twice. Gonna be wielding the secondary. We'll see how that goes for them. Quick boost on top of the...
Quick attempted boost.
Slow boost on top of the Porsche there. It's just a little bit delayed.
You made it.
Dropping off there. Same way MD had done.
Yeah, right. Lots of tactical mistakes going on in this game. I really love it. You know, it's high-level Counter-Strike.
Tactical knifing. Boy.
Still, boy, don't bring it back up.
Nice retake utility, though, towards Banana. That's going to gather a bit of control, which, again, I kind of talked about this in the beginning of the second half. It was lacking from the pawn. They never really wanted to take that fight towards Banana. They never wanted to take that early initiative to try and find that car control. So they are going to go for this tracking attempt, but there's a port side setup that's very, very strong to counteract this.
And the instant Molotov to deny it once again. It's a secondary one? Wow. That should give some information, though. 2 Molotovs in that short time span. You definitely should be aware that there's a stack in this direction. Don't really go for it anyway. A fantastic double swing with Tactile! 1, 2, and 3! It's Lesser who needs to trade. He does do that. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of time left. Seb really needs to kill on the Cyrix, and he does. 2 versus 2. No smoke to work with. There's a molly, 3 flashes here for the T's.
Only 1 flash on the opposing side of things. Koi trying to find his way in with that secondary op, though. His line's being held. Lesser patiently waiting for this angle. Should have him dead to right. Walking right into his crosshair. Straight onto the head here. Lesser reveals his position. Also playing for that post plant is Seb, watching that cross towards sight. And so what a wonderful recovery from Lesser. Finding 3 kills in that round. Shutting things down in the post plant. So very strong.
Yeah, Lesser looking to join Seb in the 30 club. Lesser 28 kills approaching that point. And at this point, I mean, you know, just kind of continuing our like conversation from Collegiate to hear about how impressive we've been with the likes of Gonzo and Seb, man. That's just kind of what this team here has been. Lesser as well. 17-17. Another fight for banana control. We'll come up ahead over any Lesser taking damage from Sluggy early. It's a lot of utility that was utilized here. Sluggy empty, and so is Koi off the back of it.
A lot of damage on the Lesser. That's a strong sign there to try and get some things rolling. Gonzo taken care of as well. They're still committed to this hold of banana. They're even sacking over another. Cyrix is coming to join this rotation. Actually called it off, though, for some reason. He's trying to bounce back in towards the A-bomb site. It's a full commitment as well. It seems like he had some sort of information as to make that play. It was so instant. But in the meantime, they've held down this banana control. The fake hasn't really been sold, so you're still going to have heavy presence here. They've left Koi as that sole anchor. They're rotating a 4th man over towards B, but 30 seconds left into the clock. Seems like they want to go back towards B. We're doing a triple fake.
Certainly is. Koi in position. He's got an early spot. Gonzo falling down. Look there. Can't answer it back, and there's no one on the site. This is huge. As long as they can get crossed without finding too much success through that smoke. And they do. 15 seconds. Plant should go down. And then now it is. Froggy into deny. Oh, and he just barely gets the bomb down. Lesser does fall, though. 3 versus 4 here for the retake.
The 2 isolated on the site right now. It's going to be Luck with the high range angle, but he's able to be quickly traded. Back of Emo Pillar. Subarashi doubles down from CT. Seb in the 1v3. Position likely known as they clear out new box. They know he's Banana. There's no secret about it, but he's lining up so much damage to the smoke. 1v3 potential here as he finds the diffuser. But Cyrex eventually able to trace him. And so we will start things off, at the very least, with double overtime secured from the pond.
Oh, man. Imagine if fourth quarter don't lose Lesser through the smoke, through the box there on the plant. That's where you tend to want to plant up on that little small angle on top of the coffin. That's what helps you stay alive, but unfortunately that doesn't happen, and Lesser falls because of it. Another op come out. It's not double op this time, because there's really not money to do that, in all honesty. Fight again.
Oh,
Lesser, he doesn't know he's burning.
Down. Oh, the blinding.
Not only blind, but you can't hear the ticks.
That's such a rough way to go out in this one, especially when you've been a key for your team the entirety of this series, finding so many openers. And to go down like that's a bit of a heartbreaker. Luckily, Sluggy taken down as well. The 1-for-1 trade, 2 of the heavy hitters in the opening roles, both taken down in the early stages, left to the others to try and get things done. See how the supporting staff here for these 2 players works out. Got Cyrex holding down the line towards brackets here, and there's no smoke yet.
Oh, that timing could have been pretty brutal. Oh, look at tactile. This is a good angle. Rarely played. This is 2, but Seb trades immediately. 3 versus 2. We could be seeing double overtime confirmed. That HE grenade, followed by the molly. Not going to do much of anything. Oh, with a shot through the smoke! Subarashi! Oh, Luck literally took 1 tap, and he's found out. 2 versus 2. A flash apiece for the defense. They push forward. It goes to Subarashi. And there he is there. Set up. 2D connecting, and so does Sab. We're headed to OT for the 2nd time.
Man, oh man. What a game we got on our hands. What on earth was that? The Subarashi kill, it almost made me think that that was going to be closed out on the retake, but not quite there. 4th quarter. We'll see if they are a 4th quarter team, because right now we are much past it. And they haven't closed it out just yet. It's their map pick. I think this is more important, especially as we get deeper and deeper into these OTs, for them to close it out.
Yeah. Nuke is the next up, and that is the Pawns pick. If you are just joining us now, didn't get to see where we're headed, but ultimately, you know, Inferno, it's clear that this is anyone's game.
Exactly right. Starting things off, actually not with the double up like we had seen pretty typically. From both sides, we had Koi Rock in the secondary. I believe in the last time we had Seb as well. 4th quarter. In this case, no double op here for the CT side. Just sticking to the rifles. And all up, be aggressive here. 3 players to meet it. They're going for flash setups here. So much damage. They're all blinded up. Everyone blinded here. Sluggy taken down early. Gonzo jumps on top of his head through the smoke. How is he slipped this gap? Sluggy's still alive. It's doing so much damage towards the back line. There's still one towards coffins as well. Gonzo down low. Doesn't even realize that there's one hanging around towards coffins. Bomb stuck on B bomb site. There's nothing you can do to get out of this. Unless Luck can find this kill, and he does. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's an opportunity for escape. But Gonzo's tucked himself in towards new box. How does he get out of here? He needs some help soon.
Well, the problem is that help is Luck, who has only 1 molly. Let's say that way. Here comes the push. Subarashi. Oh, they're gonna know.
Oh.
That little tag, little tick of damage. Luck trying to find a timing on the Cyrus. He turns the the scope in, and he's got the frag. Not going to be able to get traded. It's Gonzo with the kill. 19-18, fourth quarter. Take the lead in OT2.
3v2. Gonzo's on 1 HP, and Luck saves the day in a big way. He's been the quietest so far in the scoreboard, but the rounds that he has impact in is so important. And look at this. There's not even money for an AWP presence to be brought out in this round. They've got full rifles in play, but barely holding on. It's the triple B setup once again. Utility throwing down banana. They're trying to avoid the from Lesser, turning in the molly. Willing to take that risk. Oh, and the nade catches him on his way out.
Oh man, Lesser has a couple of rounds in a row that have been a little bit unfortunate. This time, your own decision making was the cause, though.
Really brutal.
Everything looking good, though, for the pawn here in the early stages. Gonzo, he's recovered the off.
If he can work with it and find openers as effective as Lesser. Seems like they're trying to inch back towards A. Bomb's going to lean in that direction. They've all fallen off of their presence, and we've seen the effectiveness of their halls pop. This time, though, the difference is you have an actual setup here on A with this halls combination with Big Pit. That's going to be hard to crack through.
First overcome is going to be super rocky. Clash is not effective against him. Now, Rashi with a frag, he's traded, and Luck finds Tactile as well. Cyrex is still alive here inside of the bit, and he's got the frag MD to fall, but the bomb is planted. In the meantime, 2 versus 3, and we've seen it before. Luck.
So, a dynamic duo that's done it in the last round, looking to do it again, and Luck kicks things off. Taking care of Koi in the early stages here. Cyrex still in mini pit. Or the big pit, he's done damage though. Able to find the first. Gonzo can't find the tripwire. And there you go. Tie things up in 19s. Cyrex even able to upgrade onto that AWP. A big round in the pit right there. You finally see that a little more effective in that A setup right there. I do. Time and time again, we've seen problematic A setups from the pond. Right there, they finally have a pretty standard big pit balcony setup that was perfect to close that one out.
Yes, indeed. Sluggy at the 40 mark. I just want to keep everyone informed. And, well, fourth quarter. Not able to find the shot on the cross. Quite giving some flashbangs over to Tactile. Is that interesting smoke, but a better shot.
Yeah. A blinder right there. Luck covering all angles. Now it leaves them in a 4v5 here. He's trying to find an answer. And he finds the gap perfectly. He stays for seconds as well. And he sure does deliver. MD down into a 4v3 recovery being made here. And Cyrex still the lone man on B. They're committed to him. They trust him for good reason. The execution lining in. They still have to cross that corner here. And Lesser, it's certain death if you go a little bit further.
Well, that was a very nice smoke. That came all the way from March, if I'm not mistaken. Good setup. Good help. And this is going to be a hit. We're towards B for fourth quarter. Lester's still alive here with the AWP, though. That's a great molly. Really, really well timed. Unfortunately, it's just not good enough. And oh my goodness, Cyrex! What is that? That's a simple play right there. And he's finally punished by Gonzo, but it's far too little too late. Time is ticking. Shots fired. Not again. Lesser, not again. The Subarashi falling. Gonzo with the frag, and Gonzo with the follow-up. Oh my goodness. 20 for the fourth.
There's another 3v2 conversion. Again and again and again in the post plant, they grab rounds like that. Unbelievable. They cannot keep getting away with it. They almost did as well with Gonzo trying to hit the op shots. He wasn't able to do that to the full effect right there. But they nearly got 3 back-to-back 3v2 conversions. That gives them enough room to work with here in the second half of overtime to give them a really good chance to close things out. We'll see how they are, though, They're still up against a pretty heavy force here. Lesser again with the run boost here, blinded off the angle though. Really good flash setups to try and gather this early control. Man, oh man. What can you do if you're the pawn? Frustration has to be kicking in.
We got double op for the CTs. The pawn, they elected to go no op this time. And again, understandable that T side not always necessary, but Cyrex has been pretty darn good with it, and it's really been only way to shut Lesser down. Realistically, that and grenades. Either way, not gonna go for it. A lot of utility being thrown in towards the bracket area. That's kept 3 players here at A. Fortunately for the 4th, they are not going to be hitting A. And actually, this is a good rotation. Look at that.
Oh, Seb made it out with that jiggle, but Gonzo mollied off the line here. He's immediately taking care of the flashbang to the smoke. What? Only good for one in the spam sluggy. He doesn't want to lose this one just yet. It might be the case here. Lesser, you do not want to give up this op, and it's not like you have 16k. It's not like you have infinite money in overtime right now. You gotta play with what you got, and you gotta fall off here.
I don't even think
execute.
I don't even think this is worth the exit frags here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you give up kills here. It's no big deal for the T side. As long as you win one round, you'll be pretty much golden. Especially if you don't buy ops for the rest of the overtime. So already you've kind of put yourself into a good position by winning this first one. And well, he does grab one on the way out. The risk is certainly there.
Well, especially with the bomb plant, for the T's, like, that's just a win around plus a bomb plant. Like, oh, that's just nice. Nicely done. 20-20. As we are already 40 rounds in. And it's showing no signs of stopping, at least not for now. No double op, but Lesser, with that op he saved, going to bring it back. It's Cyrex, actually, who's got one of his own. Don't know if he picked that up from Seb in the last round, or if it's just something that he's purchased in himself. Here we go.
In this head-to-head, it continues. Cyrex winning it out this time. Big round to try and take back the lead. A big 4v5 gathered from Cyrex. Man, they have never, ever let go of some of the aggressive duels. Those two have been battling it out the entirety of this matchup.
That's what makes Counter-Strike such a phenomenal game for me. It's those types of duels. There's Gonzo. Just wanting to find some sort of success. What a good bait switch situation. Unfortunately for MD and Gonzo, Subarashi is just far better. Both kills, both headshots. Quick succession on that as well.
My God. What are you even supposed to do about that? Like you mentioned, it was a great bait and switch setup, although Seb might be out of this round just yet. It seems like they're hanging around in this one. Issue is
2v3?
money's not all the way there. Yeah, it's a 2v3 retake on this A bomb site, rather. Even harder. Utility, one smoke. That's all they have. And yeah, they've called this one off. That's a big giveaway. Triple overtime secured from the pawn, but fourth quarter, they've yet to shy away from situations where they're down. We already know that. So this case should be no different. These two gun save, they'll get a nice gun round in the next as well.
Yeah, but I wanna go back to something you actually said back in the first overtime, which feels like a long time ago at this point. And that is that the longer that this goes on, the worse it is for fourth quarter. And I agree with you on that one, because they're going to continue having pressure applied because this is their bat pick. They need to pull this off. And time again, the pawn is not only pulled off round victories, but they've also put them on match point, or map point more accurately. And here's another scenario where that is the case. And this time, fourth quarter, they're up against the wall with a purchase that, well, it's not horrible, but it is got an MP9, but the utility is strong.
So that's nice to have. I imagine with all that utility prioritized there, we're going to see again that early fight for banana control. It's oftentimes the case. You can get nice and close and personal with your MP9 and utilizing the mollies to gather that banana control. We'll see what they got in store for us. I mean, this is fourth quarter's the last ditch effort, and like you mentioned, the pressure's all on them. The Pond, no pressure on this round. All they have to do is hit their shots, play their rounds. Whereas fourth quarter, they're fighting for their match and their lifeline in this scenario. They are going to battle for mid control. Koi dodging out of these flashes, swinging off of them. Cyrix supporting, looking up through the smoke, and Koi's delivering more damage. Seb down to 6 HP. It was already a 4v5.
I'm not a fan of Luck being kind of put out on an island all alone there. I mean, that just feels like he's been set up for failure. But of course, he can't find it. Not well blind. MD, though, magician that he is found Tactile, answered back. Now tying up this round in the 4-on-4.
Ready to execute onto this B bomb site. Good news here. There's a boost setup, crossfire, even Gonzo ready with the molly to throw down as soon as they execute. Rolls on off. There goes the smoke, and there goes the molly. Actually not fully thrown in. And there's the boost. Seb able to find it. Should be spammed through the smoke, and oh no, his teammate does him in. But still, he's able to do so much impact here. Cyrix threw it. They're so desperate. And now it's a 1v3 here. Subarashi, he's been good with these, but we continue. We play on for another overtime here.
Triple OT. Man. Oh, this is why LAN Counter-Strike is just best Counter-Strike, isn't it?
Oh, no doubt about it. Look at, we even have some crowds behind the player cams there. I'm seeing them.
Yep. Brings me
so
back.
Very good.
Back in the day when I was gaming, not commentating. Get the old crowd behind you. Nonetheless, here we go again. Oh, that's a leg shot.
How?
So fast. Reaction time. Like lightning for Cyrix.
A phenomenal shot to connect right there. Gonzo, that's a heavy hitter taken down low. Still, they're in a good position here. They've given themselves another chance again. We've talked about the pressure. They've been able to move past it once again. Name fitting for a reason. They still have to close out this map pick. It's something that they've yet to be able to do. They've yet to be in the position to do so as well. They've not been on map point just yet.
On the other side of things, the Pond have been on map point how many times? 6, 7 at this point? Pretty significant. Oh, what a turn. It's looking better and better. 2-man advantage for fourth quarter.
And this advantage as well. They're struggling to really find what to do. No real reactions being made here. They're all just kind of dwindling their utility alongside the numbers that they actually have to play with. Follow-up mollies being thrown out as soon as the smokes lie in. Lesser, though, holding the thing. So very patient. Sluggy slowly around the corner gives Lesser another frag right there.
Be a flawless one. Yes, it is. Gonzo, low health, no problem. Got a double spray down there. And it's 22 for fourth quarter. As the Pond, you're right. You know, a lot of this has been, you know, questions, right? You know, we talked about Koi, who brings in a lot of knowledge, potentially is that in-game leader sort of character. These T sides have left a lot to be desired for the Pond.
I disagree with you at all. Seems like a bit disjointed and then a heavy reliance on some B executes and firepower to get the job done. And you know, if that's not there, if some of those openers aren't delivered, then there are some problem factors here. Doing a bit of gun toss around here. Where's Subarashi's gun, though, is my question. I don't think he's got one.
Uh-oh.
To be honest with you, he's on a Glock right now, and yeah, he certainly doesn't. He's walking knife out.
Oh, no.
Glock out. Okay, so there's a pistol that's been dropped over to... Okay, Koi's made the worthy sacrifice of many IGLs to give his firepower the weapons they need to thrive, but it's still going to be a B execute. Look at this.
Well, been there as the IGL. Tactile. Gonna try and sell what is ultimately a fake. He's just done a bit of around the world, hasn't he? He's just gone out and then come back and
They called
said,
it clear.
well, I didn't see anything, so let's rotate. Only problem is, there's Lesser, but no Cyrix on the
What?
timing. What bad luck for Lesser. It's the push. Here onto a CMD on the site. He's been blinded. Subarashi there through that smoke, and Subarashi on the follow-up as well.
I can't believe my eyes how this round is panning out. We'll get to that later as they're trying to work this 4v2 post-plant situation. Seb's grabbed the AK. They're bailing out of this one. It's a save being called, but right there, Tactile with the MAC-10 clearing out the angles, clearing out the entirety of the site right there. He jumps out of apartment spots, nothing. He's able to make his way all the way through boiler, so he thinks brackets is clear as well. In the meantime, Gonzo going to find that frag, but all the while, Tactile calls over to his team that A is fully clear. There's no one spotted, or at least there's limited presence here. And man, he couldn't have been any wrong, but the triggers to rotate after seeing Tactile run away and no more presence being shown. Lesser falls off his angle at the worst time.
Yeah, I mean, that's just got to be the worst example of Counter-Strike timing I've seen in a while. Because you're right. I mean, Tactile's just calling all this wrong information only for fourth quarter to rotate slightly and make his information correct enough. Cyrix is able to deny Lesser. But here we go again. I'm going to go for the full swing. Doesn't have support. He gives support. There's a support vehicle overhead. I think is all those airstrikes come down courtesy of the HE grenades on the back of the pond. And oh, there we go.
Oh my god.
Lesser dispatches of Tactile, punishing him for his shenanigans in the prior round.
He is unstoppable, it seems like now. His reaction time, as soon as someone's on his screen, they're not on it for much longer. He is taking care of business right now. Tactile watching this round from the sidelines here. He execute. Going back to the classics here for the pond. No surprises there. But again, there's heavy presence in this direction. Again, there's 3 players here to meet it because of Lesser. As I say that, of course, rotation does fall on off, so it's at least the lacking 2 players that we so often see. With the full execute, the full prowess of the smokes and utility, this could be hard to crack open or hard to defend rather.
Going down, good flash as well. It allows for Sleb to take out Sluggy in the follow-up as well. Gonzo towards Subarashi with the with the Molly. My apologies. And Gonzo is on the site. Drag it out. It's all Gonzo. This fourth quarter. Pick up the early stages of this victory. As the first half goes to them.
Man. What a hold right there. Great usage of utility. Great Molly down on the entrance. They seem like they always have that over on fourth quarter. They always have that extra spare Molly ready to go once that execution's fully committed to. So a very red rounds coming through continuously on that CT side. Gives them a lead. You're heading into their T side. Again, talk about that was their strong suit. 10-5 half. Looking very good. But they still have struggled to close out so often that I have to be concerned for them. Can they find, or will the pond continuously fight back?
Starts to get confusing when you get this deep into OT. So just a reminder, 24 would be map point, 25 would be victory for fourth quarter. 24-24, we do it all again.
Not be surprised here. We saw that. I'm looking at the player cams here, and it's very, very entertaining to watch. You know, you do see a lot of energy over on the fourth quarter roster. I saw a little bit of frustration there towards the tail end, honestly, from the pond. So maybe that can be a closing factor. MD again, man. Oh, that jump! It's like his nemesis.
You know, I've been there, but I'm also not, you know, a professional. Oh man, it's 1-for-1. Luck goes deep, but he's traded instantly. But Luck taking out Cyrix with him. I mean, no disrespect to Luck, but I gotta say that's a pretty good trade.
We'll take that one as well. I mean, Luck was just tapping through the wall there. I think he just spammed him straight down long haul. If he could have stayed alive, that would have been nice. Not afforded to him. Right now, they've cleared out a bit of apartments control just at the wrong time, because at the very moment, you see the T side currently retaking that lesser with a rare miss, expecting maybe an underport setup. Still has to hold down that cross. Tactile has to make it safely around the corner. That's a brilliant smoke. Great molly as well to buy time here. Flashbang to get him out of that. And it's going to be the full execution. All running it down brackets here. They all line up as well. Sluggy somehow only walks away with 1 kill there with that lineup, with the potential. There's one hanging around an apartment. So much damage. MD able to drop Tactile. Spotting out Subarashi as well. Stuck in no man's land. Subarashi still delivers. But it all leaves it on to Koi. 1v2. Not much to analyze here other than Koi going down. Gonzo finds him. And that finally match point instead the fourth quarter.
Yeah, first time we've seen match point for this fourth quarter squad. 38 for Gonzo, 39 for Seb, 34 for Lester. Those are the frag totals for the top 3. And Lucky and MD ain't too far behind, 25 and 27. Or 27 and 25 respectively. Frags there and everything, but damn, do they sure help out. And it sure does look good when the whole team's performing like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I talked about the impact as well of Luck in some of those overtime rounds to keep them in this game. He's found so many multi-frags here in the later stages. He's warmed up brilliantly. This is a new setup, though. Tactile struggling with the spray, and that struggle is going to be his death. Seb, it's another one of those one-for-one trades. MD sidelined, but Tactile found out as well. And again, this early in the round, minute 15 left onto the clock. It's going to spread that defense somewhat, and they're going to maybe go for some info plays. Right now, though, they're huddled in their positions.
Quite a few smokes left, though, for the CT side. So the Pawn aren't too worried when it comes down to their visual setups, especially considering that Cyrix, is it Koi? Couldn't tell, has the op lined up. Gonna Koi. He's going to hit the shot. Big one to hit on towards Gonzo. G grenade following up. Luck has to push forward, but he's burning! Burning! He's dead! Sluggy, he'll take that one, and Koi with another phenomenal shot. Koi coming up huge. Has been sitting at 12 frags for ages, but in the round that he's needed the most, he picks up a key triple kill to keep the pond alive.
You just got to give him an op there. He'll do the damage. Great round from him. Even able to hold on to that secondary as well. They have themselves such a good position to continue to fight forward here. They've gotten all of the utility. They can ask for AKs in the hands of Sluggy as well as a big deal on that CT side. All they have to do is close things out. Keep things alive. 24s, again, like we had said, is how we continue to play on. And my God, does it feel like that is the only option for these two teams to separate themselves.
Will it be quadruple overtime? Or can we finally head to nuke? If the fourth quarter close this one out, man, I don't know, but I'm here for it. It's a good setup here at A. Smokes come out. Subarashi the first to take the shots. He's actually blinded there. Doesn't quite connect the full shot instead to take the frag. It's Gonzo as well on the instant courtesy of MD's flashbang. Tactile still alive down inside the pit. Lesser denies him life. 2 versus 3. Look at the utility call. They've got so much. The pond.
A lot of retake utility on the other side of things, though. They have utility of their own. 2 mollies. One just been thrown out. The second one following suit. Throws that retake. Molly immediately taken care of, though. Gonzo, fully white, is going to take care of Sluggy. Koi and a 1v3. Gonna need another one of those op 3Ks, but he's up against the world, against the wall. Can't get through the smoke, and Gonzo to seal the deal. Fourth quarter. They take their map pick no matter how labored it was.
That and how things adjust. You know, will Koi be able to pick up the pace with regard to the fragging? You know, we know, you know, played with the Huskies, obviously it was, you know, at a lower level, you know, so we kind of know, at least on that lower level, able to kind of be that leader sort of character. But well, here we go, underway here. It's Koi throwing the flashbang over in towards A. It's a nice aggressive push. And Plant going down. As Koi's actually the one to take that opening frag from MD.
Well, there you go. Starting things off on the right foot over on Nuke. Gonzo tanked down as well. Boy delivering a lot of damage. He's got to find a second. kills in the round here. Now the retake coming through. Fox is in with the paint and smoke as well. Tactile fully blinded up, and there's two back. Immediately, they're all lining up as well. Struggling to close as Tactile, Sluggy, and Cyrix, they all fall, but Koi still delivers. On for the 4K here. He will find nearly the ace right around the corner. Zeb, he's got to get it done, and he just can't. Subarashi will take care of him, and there you go. You can see the pawn so very happy about that start.
Listen, hey, he stepped up, he delivered, he did exactly what we asked. Magical work there in the pistol from Koi. The pawn following suit. And that's a nice start, especially for the T side, all things considered. You know, you always want to get that T side start going strong. And here we go. Outside, going to be the area to take. And look at how conservative this buy is. There's 4 AKs. Or rather, I should say 3 AKs and a Galil. Excuse me, but still. Point stands.
Another thing that I know from Koi, I think that he very much likes to go into these investments because of how easy it is to get third round buys, get those A1Ss rolling on out. Okay, they're going to send Cyrix in first, ready to pass towards the going to be Koi on the entry duty. Trades abound very quickly. And again, only that Mac 10 going down, easily retrieved as AK picked up, and you save on to all 4 of those rifles. That's a very, very good buy you have up against the first buy of fourth quarter. There's none of that bonus business that can potentially give quick bounce backs for the CT side.
Yeah, I really like how you set that up because, you know, that is always the danger of playing like, you know, a bunch of MP9s or a bunch of MAC 10s, etc. in that secondary round. You're forced to play with them in the follow-up. You don't lose any of them. But yes, here's the buy. A1S is across the board. Oh, Lesser. Ooh, smoke as well. And it's Cyrix to fall.
Yeah, picking up where we left off. The opening frags again. Lesser onto Cyrix. It's that head-to-head. This time not with the op. It's the rifles that are able to best each other. But same story. A lot of ramp control given at the moment, though. Tactile looking to capitalize off of that. Such a lacking presence here. Gonzo throws that smoke down. We'll see if he commits any more ground to that. No, he just falls off. It's actually not a bad idea either. He will commit eventually to the defense of the ramp room. I think that's the better option, to be honest with you. You don't want to give up such a critical part of the map so freely. So hanging about, a good read. They're looking for an A-pop, though, at the moment. And that Molly's going to be good.
On the HE to follow up. Luck commits. He does find one, so that's honestly not too shabby. Seb to fall. As MD finds Tactile pushing through the hut. Lesser coming back all on to Sluggy, who is denied once again. Sluggy having a really strong performance. Didn't see what his frag count was at the end of the game there, but I gotta imagine it was starting to get close to 45 for Sluggy, and the pawn still couldn't pull that back. So obviously be on the lookout for that player, that character. But one round gone, and look, it's already a save for the find.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that risk potential as well of struggling to get that economy rolling. You know, not going for the bonuses and instead electing into the rifles is has risk of his own. See him to try and get that out of your control. In the meantime, Seb down towards ramp room. Sluggy, rather, down towards ramp room. Seb's the one that finds him, and scout tag there from Subarashi, but I imagine that's gonna just fall off, retreat that one out. 4v5.
What can you do with the Deagle and that scout? Well, let's find out. He's coming towards Seb. He's got full health. Gonzo playing that secondary angle. Good for it. Cyrix is going to get fragged towards Seb, but it's a spray down. On the other side of things, Gonzo with 3. Now it's Subarashi with a pistol in hand. Nearly dispatches of Gonzo, but fortunately Gonzo kind of ducks back around the corner and asks for MD to bail him out. It's 2-2.
Right up once again. Although this time in the early stages here, an op immediately purchased out onto Cyrix for that T side. Interesting to see that. We'll see how that works out. Certainly not up against it over on Lesser's side of things just yet. I get to avoid that. for now. Got some early 8 flashbangs being rolled off. Look at this. Luck very aggressive. How much map control is he going to continue to gather? He stopped around the cubby. Well, hold on here, Cyrix. So he's boosted up. He's looking for this off angle. Said I'm not committed just yet.
Oh, that's a great
Oh
flash.
my god.
Really well played there, and Seb falls back as well, gets out with his life. Sluggy's gonna be absolutely molding after that one, thinking, why me? Oh, and look at Lesser and Luck. They all know. They know what's going down. This is just high quality CC Counter-Strike. Seb taking some fights, doing lots of damage, ultimately gonna get one frag back. Here's Gonzo to come in for help. Cyrix does dispatch with Seb, and Gonzo still left alive as Luck and Lays and Lesser fall to Subarashi. It's 2v2, surprisingly, considering how this started, but lots of space.
Subarashi now picking up the AWP. They have a chance to go back towards A. The chances kind of slip through their fingers, though. MD hovering around towards lobby at the moment. He's going to be inside hut, ready to meet this plant just in time. Going to be planted back of silo, though. Cover being held up in heaven, and the swing coming through. That's just revealed his position. Subarashi now aware. Same with Cyrix called over there. In the meantime, he's gone down. It leaves MD into a 1v2, and Subarashi and Cyrix to get the job done.
Fourth quarter. Oh, it's so brutal. They do everything right until they don't. You know, they come out with a phenomenal flank. They get all the information. They've essentially trapped the pond in towards the ramp. But then they just all swing, trying to take the point. Rather, sorry, take the fights. And ultimately, that's their downfall. Really unfortunate. But that means it's a lead back for the pond, and so much more to be gained here in what is an eco round. Now, Gonzo, we saw this. This is a KSU special, isn't it? We saw this a lot from them. And normally you see a smoke up there, but I guess it doesn't matter. If all Lester, that's a big win. He's gonna net someone else to go around the corner. That's Cyrix, who does fall to Gonzo's off angle.
Well done. I mean, they've got themselves into a 3v4. Limit your firepower. It's luck onto an A1S as well. Massive pickup here as they look to execute on towards the A-bomb site. A little bit lacking in the presence, sure, but you still have that retake potential. One towards heaven. Boy, holding that one down. Don't have to worry about these angles here. And they're clearing out hut. They've just now done that, but it's bought so much time. You can see quick rotations. Koi somehow maneuvering in the outer yard right now. Boy, still finds one. Almost finds a second as he goes to retrieve the bomb. It is going to be Sluggy who trades things out over in lobby. He still has to gather control of a bomb site. And in the meantime, weapons have been retrieved as well in the Gonzo's hands.
Well, me too. Sluggy, he's so aware. His game sense is phenomenal. Double doors out and decon as well. Oh, great timing. Really well played for Gonzo and Luck. They come around those corners at the perfect time and deny the pond anything. That's an eco round win for fourth quarter.
Yeah, left him in a really good spot as well economically. Luck still 4K and reserves 3.4K as well in Lesser's hands. So very, very strong. And they're up against a half buy of the pond zone. So not looking too hard on the opposing side. HE's towards the outer yard. There you go. There's more of a Lesser. Finding things, picking things off. With opening frags here. Luck. Well, as you know, one slipped the gap a little bit. Sluggy, rather. Able to sneak around there. And a little bit connected, but not too much damage. And there's still presence on this bomb. Luck is joining in the rotation, but he goes down quickly.
Seb's in a good spot here. Though, looks to me as if it might not matter. Cyrix, Koi, Subarashi left to try and find something in a situation where they are relatively limited. Spam damage down to the top of this decon door. Nothing found. It's ultimately going to be a push out here to try and get the bomb planted. Here we go. Gotta get the bomb. Tyrek's going to put that one back. Seb, he's found one, but trade.
Ooh, bomb plant. First one did here. They're able to get a little more forward positioning. So goes for the weapon drop reload. UMD though on the back lines is going to find them both. Reality does strike. It's a 4th round lead taken. Inside of 4th quarter. There's going to be weapons on the opposing side. Sluggy and Superashi, maybe not so fortunate. Maybe there's another save and play. But instead, I see the full investment rolling on off here. Going for a bit of Galil action. Toss that one over to Koi. He'll grab the AKs. What does the pond have in store for us in a round like this, where maybe you're lacking on firepower? Good A-pop could be an answer.
Especially with this utility, but lack of mollies tell me maybe not. Anyway, that's what it looks to be. Lots of players grouped up in hut. Bit of a nade stack towards Squeaky. But not that door off its hinges. Fluck pulls the re-smoke. It's going to be a pop and come through. Now might be the answer. Good flashes. Fluck out of luck here at the opener, but he's going to find the frag on the follow-up. Tyrex, Sobarashi both coming in, and Koi as well. Use 7 Tyrex in the 1v1.
Oh, Seb delivering pain from above right there. Double dink. Clearing things out right there. Needed to find that fast. And the pond struggling to find the T-side around 4th quarter. Extending their lead even further. Getting those better investments out. You can see a timeout called as well. A few things to discuss over on the pond roster.
What are you discussing if you're the pond right now, Cole?
It's tough to really follow. I mean, you have struggling T-side. It's pretty normal for Nuke to struggle a little bit. They've even had good out-of-yard defaults. It just seems like they haven't tried it with maybe a rifle round. They don't have much of a lurk presence if they want to take other parts of the map. They're really struggling with multiple prongs on some of these executes. Now, it's still early on, so I imagine they have time to fix that pretty easily. Just got to really pull the strings on some of these rounds here. We see we get back into the action.
Well, let's see if they've taken some of that advice or not. Obviously, they'll have to have figured it out themselves. Outside, it's certainly going to be the conversation. 2 AKs, a scout, Deagle, and a Mac 10. Lesser has been good for opening picks thus far. And he is again. Though it's a trade. Subarashi pulling him back immediately.
Quick answer here. AK retrieve as well. Subarashi able to grab it. Still, though, limited success. Lobby controls taken as well here from the CT side. So, while I've been able to gather a bit of steam towards this outer yard, sure, you can maybe be working towards heaven, wrap things in towards A. You still have to worry about this lobby control that's currently maintained. Oh. He's not been hurried. Missed jump, though, from Subarashi.
MD? No. Not back on. Not back on Inferno. I kid, of course. So slow.
Waiting for that heaven presence right now.
Is it gonna matter? Really not anyone who's out in the open here.
If they take this control, yeah, Heaven instantly dead. Quite able to deliver the 1 dig. There's still 2 players though hovering around in the lobby again. Like I mentioned, that control so very important. But Cyrix is able to find the equalizer, still holding onto that AK and still very good on HP at the moment for both players. This is very winnable. Koi ready with the deagle, hovering the hut side of things. Cyrix ready to take contact off his teammate. Koi mollied off the angle, but there's no one checking this bit. No one's checking it one. Oh, but the labored spray. Seb able to react in time. And oh man, that's a heartbreaker. You can see it head and hands, but it is another round converted, and it's Seb that's leading the charge.
Yes, I mean, in all honesty, a really good round for the Pond. Because not only do they get the bomb planted, that allows them to buy back again this round, but they had what? 2 AKs, a Scouted Eagle, and an SMG, Mac 10. That was it. Not only did they nearly win the round, but they can buy again. I think that I would call that overall a victory, even if you probably could have found something. Event drop works for one, but nobody else follows. As luck looks to shut anybody attempting that feat down very quickly.
Really good map control at the very least with that vent drop here, although it's heading back in towards the outer yard direction. Lesser. Not much of an awareness on this position, so a potential to be picked off here if he's not careful from Secret. Boy can catch an angle on him. Not committed just yet. That's going to be the commitment in there. Perfect timing on that peak, just in time. Gonzo with the PP buys in. Oh, boy's not having none of that. None of your funny business. You will not PM me on LAN. Seb, Sluggy, but Tactile quickly responds and not expecting that mini presence here. Leave Seb last alive. I imagine this is safe territory at the moment, especially with the lack of time they got going on. Ooh.
Yeah, you know. Oh, he did. You're right. Though, surely, will be the end of things. Yeah. Mom recovered. Gonna be where it goes. And honestly, Seb didn't even stay alive here.
He's rotating around towards heaven. Imagine he'll be able to get comfortably in towards CT. There goes the bomb plant. And there goes Seb's retreat as well. Still having a very good game. I mean, it is that Seb-Gonzo duo that are so effective right now for this roster. Lester's still having those opening kill successes. So you got all the win conditions from Inferno carrying it over. The issue is CT side, it's a whole lot different over on Nuke. A whole lot more CT sided than a map like Inferno is. So hovering around what could be potentially 5 to 6 rounds should be comforting for the pond. They're getting there.
That's true, but you know, we didn't necessarily see anything crazy from the T side before for the pond, but fourth quarter T side was pretty decent. And remember, that's where they were able to finally win out over on Inferno. Not to say that's the same, because it certainly isn't, but just a note to keep in mind. And, well, I guess they saw the pond successfully forced by their way into victory, and so fourth quarter doing the same. 2 rifles, an SMG, a scout, and an eagle. Here we go again.
Ready to attack. This heavy outer yard presence. This time, though, it is the pond that want nothing to do with that setup. Not dealing with it, not going towards it. No attempts to fight it. Instead, seemingly looking to take that ramp control. Defaulting it out around lobby. No commitment being made here. You gotta be careful about this mini position, though. Gonzo rotating in towards this A-bomb site. There you go. Tactile finds the first.
He is taking down a little bit. No, Seb. Look, both finding frags. Cyric's still alive. Oh, and look, he's denied him. Up regained. 2v2. McCoy is going to put down the bomb here at B. How much longer can it be good for? Answer is as long as Sluggy is alive. As Gonzo denied by him. It's going to have to be luck. No scope, not going to happen. A valiant effort, sure, but Bond nearly equalizing things here, 5 to 6.
There we are. Take that one. Break their economy completely. Here's that chance to gather 6 rounds, tie things back up. Latisse at a nuke. Not too bad. Against USB's much less threatening presence than that previous. It's such a good game plan as well. Fourth quarter, World of Information. Just timing it didn't work out in the end. On moved a little too quickly towards ramp. Sluggy. Things off. The lobby crunch is in order. But it is going to be crunching some heads for the pond here. They've already kicked things off. Sluggy finding a double. Anything else? Tactile Barely rolling on with HP and very up close and personal. Cyrix is going to take down Lesser. Of course, those two continue to go at it.
Is that tied game now, though, as the Pawns T-side continually finding some success, especially after forcing fourth quarter into a save round. Here's the buy, and I mean, especially if the Pawn win this round, it could really give them the advantage into halftime. Fourth quarter pick it up. It's going to be a little bit tougher as Pawn has some money to work with. But either way, Pirates really posted the AWP and going to hit shot only a bit of a leg, or in that case, it was actually a hand shot.
A little bit of chips off Luck's shoulder. Sure, but you still have a lot of presence here in the ramp room. Combinations that two players is not often expected here. Tactile hovering around the corner. Tough angle to catch Seb on, and he swings right past it. Still have to close that line, and there you go. That's that double setup I was talking about. Perfectly converted from Luck. That's brilliant.
Great patience as well. Now we're going to look to a push. I think right here, Lesser. Nice frag. Looking for more, but Cyrix is going to find him. Luck trays on towards Subarashi, meaning Cyrix is all alone. He has the op in hand, but how many could he find realistically? He does have the bomb. So moving in towards... Ooh. Oh, he's giving the old 1-2 to Gonzo. He's got no clue. Now he will. Information is given away as the plant goes in.
Oh, doesn't even expect him to be so very close. Had to get a little bit of a safer position right there. Maybe an opportunity to get the no scope. Although, take that bomb plant, a little bit of extra money in reserves any day of the week. So they're able to grab a lot of AKs. You can see that's kind of what they're going for right now. MD, I imagine, hunted one down as we speak. And there you go. 3 AKs for that CG side. Could offer up potential for a 9-6 half here. I think that's what's most wanted more than anything here. CT side got to get really strong half. They're showing improvement though again. I mean, we're talking about that main result of this core. It was that 5-16 scoreline against them. And now they're showing some formidable positions in this one.
You know, I will say though, ultimately this Pawn roster is a mix. You know? Mm-hmm. They aren't playing together daily. You know, I'm sure they practiced into this event as much as they can, but that's not the same as a playoff level main team tracking all season. And Seb, he shut down one. That's Tactile falling, and what I mean by that, Cole, is just from a tactical perspective.
Yeah, you definitely bring up a good point. Helps to have that trust in your teammates that you might not have when you're playing with mixed pug roster, and that's even had to slot the likes of Koi in last minute. Here we have Subarashi finding some kills, doing some work, ready to crack open the save bomb site. Potential for more as well. Getting all that utility down, clearing out angles. There's still MD hovering around in the back lines, back of Silo, ready to cover. Grady's got some supporting staff coming in, and Luck up above, able to slip all the way through Mustang. Maybe that could be a great position to help out.
Yeah, this is a really hard off angle to anticipate, especially because it's not easily cleared. But oh, this is so smart. Subarashi. They seem to know. They spot Luck in that. They had to have heard or seen something. Now it's MD alone on the site, and Subarashi has the frag as well. He's got all 3 for the round. And the plant is going down. Here's Seb and Gonzo, the dynamic duo, to pull off another 2v3. But Seb's already tagged low. They both have to come in immediately, and as I'm saying that, there'll be nowhere that they'll be going as they move to save.
What a savior Subarashi is in that round, man. The way he was able to find all those kills. The patience shown as well. Getting all that utility down, but after he finds that initial kill in the player top of hut, he hits the brakes. He calls in for backup, and backup arrives, but he still converts so much, finding that information on the Mustang player off that boost. Either that or just being aware of it. not
I
having
don't,
many angles to clear.
I don't think you could see him on the boost,
I don't
Cole.
think so either. I think it was just pure awareness.
I mean, I don't know how he was aware, but he certainly was.
Incredibly smart right there. Coming through from Subarashi. Very strong stuff. Going to deliver them into a comfortable half. You take an 8-7 on the T side any day of the week. They know it. Here we got some outer yard smokes being lined up. Wall coming on out. Allow for the dribble crossing for a secret. And this is some of the maneuvering I was kind of hoping for. Wanting to see more so than anything was leaving some presence here towards the outer yard. Doing it on gun rounds specifically. Such a good way to try and find T-side rounds, especially with the firepower pieces you have on this roster.
I don't think he knows how these smokes. Nearly able to find one, but it's actually Lesser who picks up the opening frag. Another one from him. Cyrix. Oh my goodness, how many times? Lesser opening, Cyrix answering. This time though, it's Sluggy on the follow-up, and oh no. That's just not the timing you were looking for, especially not with a Mag 7. Sluggy and Tactile deny, and it is 8-7, but it's in the favor of the Pawn. Really strong first half on the T side, no less.
You're getting a lot more impact here from Koi, specifically. Cyrix is actually leading the charge on this roster as well. Good signs, you're not required a absurd half from Sluggy in this scenario. Now it comes down to a CT side. How can they finish? Can they take things into a third map? Here's the question. Third map would be very entertaining. I believe you'd be finishing things off on Ancient, which would be absolutely a blast to cover.
Oh, I'd be hyped. Only our second time casting Ancient would as well. So would be good either way. The key player that was missing there for fourth quarter was MD. Always was able to kind of get a double kill where needed back over on Inferno. Never really, leading the scoreboard, but always there or thereabouts. He really struggled 4-11 there in the first, and needs to probably pick up the pace if fourth quarter have any chance of this one back.
You're exactly right. Going to see a bit of utility. This is picked up from Luck. He's got a molly to back this one up, trying to bait out some presence. So you're swinging through door. I imagine what is the reaction, but the molly blocks them. Tactile covering the ramp side of things, but struggling to connect. Gonna fall off retreat. Call that one quits here. The bomb site pretty much compromised here. Fully in the control of the T side. Ooh.
Right. Being pressured from multiple angles. It's a trade, but not the way they were hoping. Lesser, Luck, and Seb all finding something. Down 3 versus 2. Sluggy and Cyrix left alive. Sluggy finding one back. Is it the one-man advantage? It's a look, but it's ultimately not good enough. Lester, I don't know if Lester found those kills in one shot or not, but it felt like it was fast enough that it could have been either way. 8-8, fourth quarter. Find a big round.
Big pistol round to kick things off here. There's a force by to answer things back. We saw the Pawn going for full ecos in rounds like these, but the Pawn, they don't want to give up any momentum. Their foot is all the way pressed down on the gas here. Same case is for fourth quarter. They're rushing it down. There's a ramp through here. Clotheslining it. Subarashi finds himself 3 kills. He has consistently bailed the Pawn out of these really rough situations that have been put in here. Lovely tag delivered from Cyrix to extend this advantage here in the HP department. And there's still one player right around the corner. They leap past each other. Tactile. What on earth was that? How does he not find that kill? Lesser drops him, and now it's even still.
It's really important. The fourth quarter win this round. Well, it looks like things might be going to pieces. Going and Cyrix team up for that frag. Luck. Did a good angle. Unfortunately,
He's revealed it.
The problem is, yes, indeed, he's giving it away. The time is ticking. And he's got all the frags. Tapping away with the Galil. Oh, man. Talk about a tough one. A really, really strong look by the pond. And, you know, beyond that, how many times does Subarashi just pick up like a triple kill out of nowhere?
Really trying for the spawn roster. Just a couple of struggling closers and some of those kills, man. Bit of heartbreak over on the pawn roster, just making things better and better for fourth quarter. Not a yard rush at the moment. Sluggy here with the Deagle. He's able to do so much damage. Old Deagle would have got him there, Gonzo, but we're working with that 3-bullet with a trick here. Super shows us how to do it, though. Able to finish the job. Cyrix close behind us while they're maintaining some nice trades to do some damage to the economy. But that's about all they will find.
Do that. Still looking. Cyrix is going to be saving. Roy, on the other hand, still looking. Trying for something here or there, but like you say, how much can you really find? And for something, that's a nice shot. Gonzo is going to trade it there with the MAC-10, upgrade himself to a rifle, and get out of the radius. To be fair, Cyrix has a rifle of his own, and his is an AK.
He'll take that one. No question about it. We do see some buys being brought out immediately. Tactile purchasing the
Scout?
Scout?
Maybe a misclick. Honestly, has 1,400 behind it.
Yeah, I think so. That's a bit unfortunate, but still do some damage here. You got to rely mostly on the presence of some rifles here to help out as well. But it actually does allow for him to cover that out of yard position. Meanwhile, maybe Cyrix can help out in the ramp and catch some people. But Cyrix has made a quick decision to rotate off the ramp and in towards heaven to try and cover the cross. The only thing he can do is amp through smoke. Meanwhile, they've all made it across the field, and it's going to be up to Koi to defend this early aggression.
Oh, nice shot on the jumping player as well. Koi probably good to even just get one there. The hard shot to hit, and he does it. That being said, it's a disadvantage for the pawn as fourth quarter. You get your way back out to A, and planted there as well. Seb furthers the deficit. The pawn down by 2. And surely they're going to be saving. Well, if they have even a chance to save. MD back and ready for more.
Looking very strong. I mean, that's just such an easy gun round converted. That's a quick headshot right there. Sluggy taking care of Seb. No questions asked. That reveals his position. No one really close by to hunt. A couple heading in quickly through lobby, but not really able to close the distance in time. There are 11 found so far. Again, fourth quarter. T sides are seemingly where they thrive.
Certainly has been a significant advantage for them. Lesser with an op. M4 and 3 AKs to boot for fourth quarter. Is Cyrix as well. An op of his own. And Subarashi has no gun. Just has a pistol.
Ready? We can get it done. He's in a good spot with 5-7, I will say. This is where we're going to utilize it. Exactly where you want to be. Closer range in your face. And look at this. Tactile shutting down the AX before it can ever lift off by finding that frag, catching one with a smoke ready so you know exactly what was in store. There's no question about it that was an A execute lining up. That's been called over, and Cyrix to join this rotation. He's arrived on the scene down that wiki door, and it rotates back in towards another real play is up to Subarashi, and on top of the hut, no molly for him, so he's able to find one. Yeah, not going to dive it around. It called off from Seb. He doesn't want to move in towards certain death, and so he will retreat, take a different approach.
Well, going to have to be a very creative approach in a 2v5. I guess that approach has a lot to do with saving. As that seems to be what fourth quarter are going to be about here in this round. Though all things considered, that makes a lot of sense. They're down big, and They don't really have the utility to work with in order to open things up. I mean, yes, Seb has some, but Gonzo's fresh out.
Yeah, not a bad idea. That's for sure. Hold on. Interesting call here. The rest of the team can buy around it. They'll get another chance with the rifles. But a nice flawless round on the opposing side of things for the Pawn to gather some steam here, build up a bank, start to try and close things out, try and take it into a third map here. Got a little bit of a way to go. But that is a nice way to kick things off. You're going to need a whole lot more of that strung together, trying to break that economy. And here's your chance to do it right now.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, money is certainly not perfect here for the Pawn. HP's abound as well as Wally. Kyle. Oh, nice thread. Black falling. Gosh. Do it again? Well, the answer is no. Koi certainly can. He found success in the area, but not Canada.
For that recovery here. Lesser. Trying to find some trades. Boy, still hanging around. It's actually in towards secret right behind that wall. It's nice and safe. Doesn't have to worry too much. Just has to hold down this outer yard position. You know, they just have a line all throughout the map. There's not any gaps to be found here. Other than maybe a potential mini push, but even that's being somewhat covered here. So they pretty much have to trade their resources in what is already so limited. A movement towards the ramp room would be a movement into certain death. You do not want to walk around into Cyrix's op.
No doubt about that. Is there a flash? Well, there was, but he dodged it. It's a shot instead. Finds success. Oh, what a great adjustment there by Lesser. So down but not out on this team. And even better, what a good rotation. Heads up play for fourth quarter. Something needs to go their way. And Gonzo finds one. Lesser even swings for the secondary, but Koi, despite the fact that he falls, leaves Subarashi to clutch up. No 1v1. It's starting to get closer and closer, Cole. It really is. 11 to 10. I'm smelling. You know, you know how you get that whiff in the air? I'm smelling ancient.
I am as well. Third map in the cards here. That would be absolutely fire to see ancient between these two teams. But man, it's still very close. Now this round, it's a bit unlikely at Nico. I've seen them win one already.
Yeah.
Nuke, I was on the CT side. They had some cool setups for us as well in store. So I imagine they have somewhat of a game plan. There's a lot of utility invested into this round. They are lining up some out of yard smokes, maybe to line up that wall. And they're going for a play that's worked before. They're going to try and move quickly down in towards secret, catch Koi off guard. No, instead, taking that back a big rush, a mini split in store. But in the meantime, all taken care of. Reload fully gone off, and Tactile, it's a 1-for-1 trade though. And a rifle retrieve for Seb as well.
This is a bit weird. All the timings and everything just a little on the odd side. Sluggy's very much ready for luck to swing around that corner. That's part of the reason why you want some help if you're going to be doing that. No help available. And so Sluggy takes it with ease. Now, what you initially thought was going to go down. But Koi, nicely done finding everyone but Seb. Leaves Seb in the 1v3. He needed to get around the initial box there in order to get the plant down. It's a tie game once more.
Tied up here. 11s. So very back and forth between these two teams. No one's pulling ahead too crazy much, but the big thing is that the Pawn have gathered up some CT side momentum. And that's very key. I can put them across the finish line. And while it may seem exactly true, it's very hard to gather 5 rounds on the CT side, especially with Koi doing things like that. their T side, that is.
And Koi has had such a turnaround. Really proud of this performance.
Ooh.
He's got a triple this time. And it's Tactile to give him the help out. Seb was alive and now he's dead. And Cyrix the one to put him to bed. That was an unintentional rhyme, by the way. They're in the lead. This is something they haven't had for a hot minute since essentially the second round of this half.
I mean, Koi with the turnaround here, Tactile even having a lot of opening frag success so far. It's been very key for this turnaround in the CT side, because we were seeing that 4-0 start come through from fourth quarter. They were looking like, you know, maybe there wasn't much of a fight to be had for the pawn, but the recovery is good. Gonzo again takes care of Mike Tactile. But look at that shot from Luck. He finds a second. That's 2 rifles retrieved. And a big deal onto that B-bomb site. They're ready to go. No one close by to meet it. Oh no, there's one in decon actually. That is going to be Koi covering the back line here. Numbers are going to be punched in nice and safely. Hunting from behind here. Can't quite find it. Tactile struggling. One close by. Lester gets another. But there you go. Back to reality here. It's a lot of damage, sure, but no closer.
Another frustrating round for fourth quarter. As the Pawn continue to pull out a couple of rounds in the lead. 13-11. And for fourth quarter, this buy is essentially the buy that they need in order to continue being competitive here. The reason I say that is, well, they aren't going to have any money if they put up. And beyond that, Pawn, they've got cash no matter what.
Cool. Tactile opening things up once again. Still very consistent. And this is a full gun round that you kick things off in a 5v3. Consistently happening as well. It seems like they're so often in these positions. They're changing up the setup. They've sent Tactile outside. They have Koi in a different position, though, ready to cover the ramp room, offering support in this direction.
How can fourth quarter bring this one back? Well, a frag would be good. There's Lesser. Gonna be meeting that first one, and oh, Sluggy. Good for it. Koi gives away the position for just a moment. It's also a position that was played very often in that last half by fourth quarter, but still 1v4. Gonzo not really in a position to do much of anything other than try and save.
Oh. And there is no escape. There you go. 14 gathered from the pond. They're inching closer and closer to this victory. They're inching closer in towards Ancient. Consider how competitive that last map was. This one, it feels a little bit more one-sided. It depends on how the pawn can close this one out, though. You know, if it does come into fruition that fourth quarter, they find a little resurgence in this T side. Delivers them a better chance on Ancient, but they're struggling a little bit. They're falling flat. They're falling a little bit short on the strat book here. It seems like they've run out of ideas.
You know what they're missing, I think, is a really solid A execute. We saw some mid ideas, you know, some outside ideas. We've seen them try to pick up the pace. We've seen them try ramp. We really haven't had any good A executions.
Before on that attempt, and then quickly Subarashi shut them down with the 5-7. Totally denying them. Again, it's out of yard control, and again with the opening frags from both Tactile and Koi. Out of yard, it doesn't seem to be an option here at the moment. Koi continues to deliver so consistently. The issue is there does come with a compromise in the ramp room. He got themselves into a 3v2. It's workable.
Workable, yes. How much so, we don't quite know. Well, that's right. I'm gonna fight for just a moment, actually reposition, and oh, that's brutal. Subarashi denying the plant. Now there's still 1 minute left, so you're really not fighting against the clock at your Seb. You gotta fight against two players, and those two players or Sluggy and Koi could see something crazy go on. What? Doesn't look like it's going to be all that crazy, as Seb just wants to walk his way in to A, maybe. I mean, surely you're not saving when it's match point on, on the other side.
I think he's gonna walk his way in towards A. It's definitely a good idea. Sluggy covering heaven, but what he's not covering is hut. So this is the perfect gap to gather in comfortable ace side control. The issue is, if he plants for front silo, that can be a big deal. Sluggy's gonna turn the corner, not fully, not in time to stop the plant. And Seb even able to get into a post plant position, covering this angle to cross in towards the site. That's just Sluggy. Not fast enough to take care of one. Koi dropping down. Position's been revealed. Seb diving off of the ladder. Is able to find the turnaround and the 1v2 converted. Is that enough to bring fourth quarter back into this game, though? There's max cash on Cyrix.
I mean, maybe is the answer that they can bring it back. Yes, the max cash is a problem. I don't want to undersell that, Cole, but they were going to have, or at least the pawn was going to have money regardless, and the maximum amount of cash, that's just a little bit unlucky comparatively, because the fourth quarter they knew that they were going to be dealing with something similar. So we look to get back underway here in a situation where Luck, where's your gun? Oh, Galil it is, as he is awarded a weapon.
We are. Got ourselves a nice healthy gun around here for the CT side. There's a lot of Galils on the C side, though. Here comes that A-pop you were asking for. Net with HP's early utility damage and early kills delivered here from Cyrix. Really gun line for much, much more.
Oh.
And there you go. Complete denial. They go for a risk, and it does not pay off at all. You finally find a T-side round once again. The A-pop was attempted, but they were so prepared for it. Utility to counteract that. There's no way you're cracking past this defensive hold.
I mean, it is one of those situations where it's high risk, high reward. An A-pop, it can work. You can get shut down just like that. And, man, Cyrix was in the perfect position to deny it, wasn't he? Doing a phenomenal job of just that. Denying everything. Could be the last round of this game, too, on Nuke. This fourth quarter, backs against the wall here on map point. They're going. Run it back. Do it again. Cyrix, he's good for it. Not for the second. Lonzo this time wins that duel, but Tactile trades. 3v4. It is technically a little bit more successful. Unfortunately, the bomb is in a real bad spot. We're in a rock in a hard place with MD, who's been really, really slow to start here, has found success. Or Sluggy dispatches with Luck. 2 versus 3.
Here's landing some tags, not quite the frags though, and Cyrix to close. We are heading into Ancient as our map number 3.
Oh boy, this is not looking ideal. We have a player missing for the pond. Oh no.
Oh boy, that's not going to be easy, that's for sure. 4v5, no fun. We'll see if they can get it done. That's about all we can hope for here. Next round is going to mean a lot. Actually, Koi gets the 3K, although not able to convert, of course. It will be fourth quarter. Starting that CT side thing off, and I often talk about how CT side of this map is. That's another little advantage that you have to work off of. I was about to say, I see an empty chair, but I also see everyone getting ready. And we'll see how it pans out, though. No big deal.
Yeah, a bit confusing. Either way, I mean, information we have is that there was a player gone, had to leave is what we know. So, not sure what the rules say about subbing, but I imagine that it wouldn't be particularly fair to pull, a random other player from another squad that is in the event. So,
Well, the
might
thing
be one
is,
of those situations where it's just unlucky.
They did have Soul Code at one point, but he's currently playing over in Premier. Or advanced playoffs right now, so he's a bit tied up as well. So initially I think the plan was to have Koi fill in for the second match. Solgoat can come back here. They're almost finishing that one up. But man, a bit unfortunate. Either way, this setup here, double engage. Everyone's going to meet this collision head on here. MD finds 2, can't find 3, but Luck is able to deliver with the duelation. Cyrix last man standing, chewed through the lacking of armor right there. And it will be fourth quarter kicking things off.
Yeah, and you know, I kind of alluded to things kind of being a little bit delayed early on, and maybe that's part of the, you know, difficulty here. As yeah, Subarashi gone, but fourth quarter, yeah, with that early round victory, exactly what you want to see. But the 5v4, how many? Honestly, the real question is how many rounds can the Pawn pick up here?
It's going to be very, very difficult in a 4v5 on the P side of Ancient. That's worst case scenario because of how hard it is to find openers on this map. It's so rarely given to you.
Well, and the fact that it's Ancient is so much worse. You know,
Yeah.
if it was like Dust 2, you could probably pull it off a little bit easier, but but Ancient, you're right, the T side is just horribly difficult.
Hey, I got yourself a 4v4 there right there. The Tactile catching some overextension. Lesser. Not too patient in his endeavors and gets caught off for it. Still though, opportunity slim for round conversion here. They're going to be very patient about this one. They're really trying to break that economy.
I mean, you know, you got to respect the fact that the Pond are still very much going for it here. They're doing what they can. I love that knife, by the way. I don't even know what it's called. I haven't kept up, but the newer one there with the Koi had nicely done.
Koi. Not bringing it out. Either way. Gonna run up to the ramp here. Spraying things down. Oh, nice. 2 kills. Seb holding down the line. Finds himself a third even. And there's that 2-0 start. Here comes the real action. The gun round coming through here from the Pond. See what they can gather on the east side. You're going to need Sluggy to go absolutely mental. Cyrix the same. I think that in a 4v5, it isn't going to be necessarily possible on Ancient CT side. I will say that it almost seems impossible, but the only way you could possibly win this if you drop 40 for Sluggy and Cyrix. That's the only possible chance, and Sluggy taken down early, so he doesn't get to kick things off just yet.
Yeah. Down and out there. Was started 4v5, but now it's a 5v3. That opening frag. Wait. A little bit of a miss, I suppose, on that HP. We wanted to get that around the corner. Just pre-fire all the eggs. Eventually you'll hit them.
Very good idea. No way. Teams don't do that. Just pre-fire everything here. Tactile. A chance to now pre-fire Gonzo. He's revealed his position, although still Gonzo delivers with the A1S. Closer round. Lesser. Taken down very low. Wonderful flashbang setup. Oh no, Koi hasn't cleared it. Well, it was a good flash. The execution not there. Leaves Cyrix 1v5.
Currently no one down either for fourth quarter. 30 seconds to work with. Sorry, he clears out all these angles towards A. He does have the bomb on his back. Support position by Gonzo. He's found a good heads-up play from Gonzo to deny. It's 3-0. And the Pond, like you said, it's like whammy on whammy. Starting on the T side, being on Ancient. It's like the worst possible. I mean, it's like the worst possible map to be on.
It doesn't get any worse than T-side Ancient in general. Yeah. And the big thing is the opening success rate on T-side players so often limited, and so we're already starting a man down, so once you do find that rare opener, it's only equalized a bit of a problem, that's for sure. Luck towards the aggression here. He actually does find an early dismissal. That's from Koi, but the issue is closing in from all angles. Cyrix is able to find the trade. 1v3. Gonzo, MD, and Sab to cover.
Here we go again. This time it's Cyrix clearing out the long spawn hole. That's not something I say very often. Don't typically have a player back here very, very regularly, but trying to, I assume, save the gun. Especially with the 23 HP to his name. There's just not a lot of opportunities to do much of anything. So 40 seconds to essentially just wait. As I say that, maybe he's going for it. Cyrix, here we go. Moving up the pace.
See if he can gather anything. Gonna try and late push in towards the B bomb site. The issue is there's still 2 players here. So it is slim to none chances that he walks away with the bomb plant, let alone his life. And yeah, Seb patient. No getting away from that. 4-0, fourth quarter. Closing things out. If you give yourself, well, still, yeah, you'll be on your 4v5 on your CT side. The benchmark, you need to have a stellar T side. I'm gonna say that. Ancient doesn't lend itself to stellar T sides.
Yeah, I mean, what is the, just, while we're here, what is the realistic T side look? I mean, I've heard people say 12-3 is like, wow. I don't know that I'm fully on board with that all the time, but definitely can feel that way.
Yeah, it certainly can. It oftentimes depends on pistol round success as well. That's a big deal. T side. This flash through the smoke. Luck caught on some timing here. Lesser to bail him out though. Flashbang. Good, but it's still the conversion here. They're running out of numbers quickly. Almost find it. Not quite. And I will say, you want to walk away with it at the very least 4. You don't want to really go below that number. It gives you cushion on that pistol round. Allows you to get those gun rounds as soon as possible, and then maybe you can deliver some damage, but wouldn't want to get much lower than that.
Well, 4 already for fourth quarter. Gone to Koi here. Bomb down. 5. Cyrix once again the last alive. He's found the first, and he's looking for some more. He's gonna have to collect the bomb eventually, but he's getting flanked, and he's taken out. MD, good for it, and upgraded to an AK as well for good measure. The pawn down by 5 here, and it's, well, another buy-in. What can they find?
You know what I do like though? You get $1,000 bonus in the 4v5, I'm pretty sure, because they have had gun rounds every single round.
Oh,
so I think you're getting 4.4k with every loss. Now look at this, so they might not lose this round. Tactile. He's found 2 kills on the entry. Now it's the man advantage for them. And they're looking at more. Could be MD. No, he denies. It's equalized now. Sluggy and Tactile left last man standing. And look at this. There's no need to commit towards this A-bomb site where you can run away. You can hit the B side of things. It all depends on the biceps crosshair, and you can't. That's bomb down in the middle of mid. But there's a quick response here. Seb able to find himself on the ground in red room. Lesser has to reposition though. He's over in Donut. Sluggy hanging around in spawn here, trying to buy time, trying to force a mistake from Lesser. But Lesser, all he has to do is hover around this Donut position.
Not much really to be found for Sluggy other than just push in towards Donut. Like you said, that's where he's got no reason to move. No point. None of the slightest. Here we go. Sluggy clearing every possible angle. Does not want to get caught out, especially not when he has the bomb on his back. Gonna head in to this cave area. And the plant will go through. First time. I believe we've had the bomb planted.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, in a very winnable 1v1 as well. His footsteps are all being heard here. There's no question about it. Sluggy has to jump on him. All he has to do is convert this kill. Lovely little offset. It wasn't hard to expect this one. And yeah, there you go. First round of the board. The Pawn. They're in it to win it. And they win their first round. Money very high, though. Fourth quarter, there's a whole lot more winning that the Pawn need to do before they can really collapse that economy.
Gotta start somewhere though, and that is a round on the board. And I gotta be honest, that was not a guarantee. Not in a 4v5 at least. So much HE and Molotov damage. Daital and Koi are unfortunately tagged very low. It's Gonzo on the other side of the smoke from Tactile. He's just might come through. A fantastic flash though by Koi allows for Gonzo to fall courtesy of Tactile despite the huge disadvantage in the health.
Massive flash being set up right there to take that control. They got themselves into an early 4v4 now. So again, this is workable. It spreads that defense a little bit thin here. The issue is if Koi steps ahead any further, Lester, he's been hitting these tripwire shots all night. Oh boy. Very patient. Flashbangs doesn't trigger any reactions. Koi, very, very patient, very composed. Doesn't go on the aggressive here. It's instead the movement in towards the A-bomb site. They're looking to combine that with some mid control as well. A potential here for a double.
We'll have to see. 30 seconds now left to play. Late one. Lot taking shots, falling back. He's not out for now, but he's looking for more. Pre-fire, not gonna need it. Luck to fall. And all the timing here is it's 3v3 with the plant down.
They still have to clear out Koi though. This is a pretty clearable angle. 5 HP as well. They have a crossfire. Koi able to deliver some damage, but will they expect Sluggy close by? They somewhat do. It's a trade quickly. Lesser able to find the reaction. Cyrix on the weapon of his choice, ready to find two. Lesser coming around the corner here. This duel we've seen all day. Lesser seems to have an idea though. No, fixing this knife just in time. The repeat though is good. The smoke for the bomb as well. Good to convert. Nice attempt, but no cigar.
It's immediately one round gain for the Pawn, and it's just back to winning ways for fourth quarter. 6-1, and economy-wise, that would normally devastate you. But like you said, I mean, surely there's extra cash coming in.
I did, yeah. So I saw their loss bonus when the bomb got defused, and I saw at the start of the round it increased by 1,000. So I think that little like rule that says if you're 4v5,
yep,
then you get extra $1,000. Small bonus there for the disaster of a 4v5. But hey, you got to take everything you can get in these positions, and having gun rounds to constantly pressure the CT side certainly helps out.
I mean, it makes it. I mean, I hesitate to call it winnable. It makes it far more winnable. Mind is set, but he still shoots his gun and finds the set. Let go down here. Lock. Oh, denied. As Cyrix says, well, you can shoot, I can shoot too, mate. Don't get too cocky.
Spinning through the smoke here. They're trying to send Tactile through, but he can't get through quick enough. They have to worry about this cave flank as well. Tactile turning the corner. He's totally blindsided. He's turning the corner just in time. There's an op right next to him inside of the smoke, but Koi, he's been revealed. And now Tactile is able to dive in and out of the... Oh, they're sticking it though and able to find it. Oh my god, Tactile wins the clutch. That's the second round here. Look at that. It's broken the economy of fourth quarter. This isn't going to be as easy as they thought.
No, it is not. I mean, that's a big round win, especially considering that fourth quarter found the opening frag. Look at, it's broken the entire economy. Lesser has it off, but nobody else has anything. Found the opening pick anyway. Lesser has been strong all day. continues that now.
No kidding. The hero op and a great way to shut down any hopes that you had. Boy, removes from the server here, and the follow-up is to hit the A bomb site. They've got a little bit of presence here towards mid as well. Cyrix trying to maneuver around this side of the map. The issue is if he walks anywhere near Donut, he has so much to worry about. Presence being shown, but MD in that close angle. So while Gonzo's going to offer up that distraction game, MD has an opportunity to strike. It's going to be too perfect. Cyrix blindsided, and it's a 2v5.
You know, numbers over weapons. What can I say? Well, I'm playing it, but it's 1 versus 4. And Lesser, nice job. 3 kills in the round. He had the hero op, and he does it nearly alone. MD with 1 of his own, but man, 7-2. The 4th quarter, able to push back against the pond. As I say that, though, the buyback is here. Plenty of money to work with. We're gonna, pretty much get full U-cell too.
Not too bad. Always have that that money in reserve. The issue is now they're up against 3 AKs here. MD, Luck, and Seb. All going to be so very lights out with those weaponry. They're moving out towards mid. It requires in this position a lot from players on an individual level. They have to draw out a lot of attention all by themselves. You can see that's what Koi's trying to do right now. Moving around towards mid. Trying to draw attention away from that A bomb set, but Buster's hanging around here. Good for the first. Not good for the second, though. Sluggy, quick with the trade. Koi on the lurk as well. 1 spotted towards Temple. Sluggy going to relay that information over. Oh, I think Sluggy barely does matter there as well. Gonzo able to deliver, and from Cave, Brother Donut MD finds his success. There's an 8th.
4th quarter making that one look pretty simple, pretty easy. No plant. So, I mean, the money getting a little bit light there for the pond, but still enough to get the buy-in. Another round. Good mid control. Though, again, it would be pretty hard to contest. Still got to give credit for 4th quarter, kind of playing this like any other game at the moment.
To take that B bomb site. Going on off. Oh, tactile, not quite ready. Takes out, and it will be delivered to Deb. Multi-kill spray down right there, Sluggy. And Cyrix left to close things out here. Nice one. They certainly are doing a great job making sure that they really close this one out. Cyrix able to find himself 1 kill, but the numbers overwhelmed. All closing in.
Getting close to that double-digit mark. It's 9-2 before the quarter. And they've been doing a good job of doing pretty much all the right things. Early nades, early info gathering, falling back, not getting too aggressive, you know? It'd be so easy just to kind of like W key onto a situation like this, but no, that's not what 4th quarter have been doing. Sure, they've gotten aggressive, but they haven't been, you know, disrespectful aggressive, I guess I could say.
Right. Yeah, I guess the same case is, you know, trying to keep their mental in this game is pretty impressive because the 4v5, oftentimes you just see just all out rushes. You see maybe teams try and get it over with quickly. You know, not a lot of defaulting. That's not the case either with the pawn side of things. They're really trying to hold down the line here. Crazy angle, but crazier timing right there. Lesser just wrong on it, but will be traded out. And there you go. It's evens as mid control swings in the way of the pond. It's still 3v3.
Seb, pretty crucial here. Yeah, actually, Gonzo going to swing, and it's both of them to go down. MD 1v3 now. And MD's rotating in from behind. Where else? Might be around in for the tees. Eventually, Zimdy finds that success. Unfortunately, though, he's tagged very low. Ultimately, looks to save.
With that AWP. That's a big weapon right there to grab. I don't know if you really... I guess you only have 19 HP to your name. I was about to say, I don't know if you really should save in this position. You could still go for it. If you only have an AK, you still have plenty of money in reserves. But not a bad idea. Hold on to that op. Grab that expensive weapon, bring it into the next, and we're getting close to that benchmark in normal scenarios being hit here from the pawn of 4 rounds. You know, honestly, you'd consider this a pretty good T side so far. It's pretty on the par. But you need a little bit more, I'd have to imagine. You're hoping for like a 9-6 half to give yourself any opportunity. You pretty much want to close this one out because once you start 4v5 on the CT side, it gets a whole lot harder.
Yeah, that's the big caveat, right? Whenever it comes down to it, you know, it's like the double whammy. You're starting the T side, it's ancient. You're 4v5, and then you got to go to the CT side where, you know, clearly you're gonna have trouble covering both sides because you have one less player. So do you just leave off mid? Do you like there's no real good place in ancient that you can just not cover. And so you're just, I mean, usually you'll have to just play passively or play retake onto one area. You don't want to usually give up, but here we go. We're underway with the second half of this series, or rather this map, back into this series.
Back at it once again. And again, with the slow defaulting here. Really trying to pick up with the same mistakes that were able to deliver them that last round. They're doing that same sort of mid-control style of like collapse from 2 different directions. Missed shots here and there from Lesser. Does get out of dodge, surprisingly enough. There, Lesser only walking away with 50 damage to his name. No big deal.
Still 5 alive here. Fourth quarter. Util being pushed forward here into the cave, and nobody is home initially. The luck is further back. Click the T side, grouping themselves up towards an A hit by the look of it. And there's Gonzo to spot him out. A bit of a bait and switch. Oh, Cacti wins the fight. Gonzo on the return fire, but he's treated as well. Big plays coming through. It's now Lesser on the site.
Oh, I mean, that slight footstep right there. Could have had a flank, but Lesser gets around the corner. Boy tries to chase him down, but Zeb covers the backside right there. Nicely done on the conversion. That's 10 rounds. Double digits hit from the fourth quarter. And the Pond, well, of course, you know it. They're getting that money back out rolling. Another timeout getting called out.
Oh, man. You know, I gotta mention it one more time, Cole. I know we've talked about it ad nauseum here, but I really gotta respect Pond. You know, like you were saying before, keeping the mental, giving it their best shot, despite the poor situation. That's a winner's mentality right there.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They're trying to keep their heads into this game. You saw that little pre-game speech from Koi as well. I imagine that had something to do with the position they were in.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Love to see that. Thrown out.
Down bad, boys. Let's give it a go.
Give it the best shot here. How's that molly not spreading? There it is. That's all been heard. MD down low. Gotta chase him down here. Best case scenario. Try to catch that low HP player on A. They continue to move in towards Lesser. And that advantage could swing back into the favor of fourth quarter.
Koi already found that opening frag on a Gonzo. How long do they get bored? Right this second. Oh, that's a nice shot. Luck. They take that and oh, that's better. No. Jack or Koi blinded by his own flash and MD on the timing. And Sluggy on the trade. It's 2 versus 2. Sluggy and Koi versus Lester and Seb.
Might be a pretty winnable situation here. Sluggy picking up that AWP. Flashbang is going to be perfect right on the left face. What? Where did that one go? What a shot right there from Lester. It must have been right around the corner, not available. Boy still lands a blinder of a headshot there, delivering him an opportunity. And this one, a rotation in through CT spawn, though. And that's going to be a hard line to cross. Oh, Spring spotted there right with the bomb out. Seb peeks. And there's 11.
Yes, 11 to 3. Could potentially confirm the 12th here. Or maybe a fourth for third quarter. Who knows? Or rather, sorry, excuse me, for the pond. Who knows, though? I mean, there's a reason why this is so difficult and, well, why we haven't seen all that much success. And secondary, just as good. So mid control now is on lockdown here for the attackers.
There you go. Nice opener right there. The mid side of the map has been where they found a lot of their opening success. And they're just going back to the bread and butter now. Koi. Oh, he's very careful. Very wise catching that one out. Gonzo, no luck on the flank. Now, surely not to expect a second. That's the case. MD. Oh, this might be a flank of a lifetime here. Lines up a couple. Ooh. One and done. He's going to bow out now of that one. He's shown his presence. He scared him. And now he's going to give some ground.
More scared than they are. It's luck. Says hello and then a short goodbye.
Oh. They're really just throwing all the stones all over mid right there. You see flashbangs rolling out for the peak setups. There's no luck. Slugging in a 1v3. Maybe this could be out. Full bomb's been mollied off, though. He's able to find a frag, but on his way out, man, post-mortem, it's going to be Seb. Oh, rather, no, Seb's throwing the molly towards middle. He wouldn't have been able to even gather bomb with Seb's position, I guess, at the end of the day. And it's 12 rounds found in the first half. Not bad, though, if you consider it a 3v or 4v5, rather.
I mean, yeah, not... well, yeah, not terrible, you're right, but at the same time... Is there any way to pull this back? I don't think so.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, if a fifth was to come in right now, then I could see a world where they could come back into this for sure. But this fact that they're still 4v5 into the second half, it makes it near impossible.
Yeah, I mean, the only positive to come away from this for the pond is that, well, there's a double in bracket.
Yes. For sure. That is a good sign. They will, I imagine. Oh, wait, no. So, Solgoat was the backup here. I was wondering if he could play after the playoff match. If he does end up winning, he will continue to play. I think there's another best of 3 he has to finish off tonight, so you might still see the Pond struggle here in this event, unfortunately. By the way, when you say that, Super Rush could always come back. Bossfire here did not expect all this presence. Look at the Dilly's shine. Sluggy. Let's put it into a 1v1, and there you go.
Nicely played.
Ooh.
Nicely picked up. Luck to fall down there as the pond. If possible, there is something more than just these couple rounds to find. Now, the other news is that, you know, this is a half buy. That being said, is it gonna be enough? Probably. I think there's 5 blocks on the other side, so not too shabby. Now, Gonzo is a 50-50. Does actually commit one crime there, finding the successful shot.
Very interesting play right now. They've just wrapped in towards the A-bomb site from CT spawn. Yeah, they're coming in from multiple different angles. They saw that red room lurk not for long. Look, he has cleared that one out. And they're very much struggling to find these kills. It's going to be a bomb plant over on that A-bomb site. Gonzo ready to punch in those numbers. Zeb hanging around, trying to catch off some rotators here. Potentially. I have to start tucking his heavy, though. No, there we go. He's found one. He's drawing time out as well. Eventually to be cleared. But that's a lot of damage and a potential 1v2 here for Gonzo to work off of here. And all of these noises. Tactile. What? It looked to me like he was against the wall right there.
I feel similarly, but oh well. There's a couple of rounds going towards the pond before the gun rounds start to begin and things get a little bit harder. But again, I mean, I don't want to count them out just yet until the end. No doubt about it.
Swinging them together. Always that $1,000 bonus. They're going for the double up to close this one out. Trying to lock down the CT sides. This can certainly be a way to gather some CT side success. Double up. Oftentimes, you just have to hold down the angle. Potential for multi-frag, especially in Cyrix's case. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm with the pistol round victory. I think I believe a little bit more that at least a potential to become a close game here.
Closer, for sure. I mean, you know, there's still 4 players to lock down these sites, and like you said, double op, that certainly This is going to be the harder one to hold, and it is looking to be just that. 1 for 1. Boy, he gets traded out on that site. Got fired there by Dixon. Yeah, not gonna work.
Not at all. They're struggling to get into this one. Pose plant. No shots through the smoke here. Now Lesser going to deliver some from the B side instead here to reveal his position. But in the meantime, his teammates are falling down around him. Sluggy picking up the A1S. Picks up a couple here. An opportunity to bounce back here. Bombs to tap. Cyrix finds the first. Knows where the second is. He's up high. Close to the left. Luck. I'm expecting that angle. There's 13 gathered. And there goes the hope down the drain.
Yeah, the problem is CT economy, believe it or not, is not nearly as strong as the T side economy. So Cyrix has some money, but everyone else has very little in the amount that would need to be a full buy. They might just buy in anyway, but well, we'll see.
Yeah, I think you pretty much have to in this scenario. Don't want to give up too much. Yeah, we are seeing an investment being brought out. Plus, you know, that loss bonus stacks up. You're getting 2,400 in the next, plus another 1,000. So still, you have essentially max loss bonus with that extra 1K that's given.
True.
Rush towards A, though, they're really trying to overwhelm the site. And I think it was kind of evident in the last round what they were able to do. They exploded onto Koi. And it was a bit too much to ask from one op defender. And the same for the scout, I guess, in this scenario.
Yeah. 1, 2 down. My God, look at this smoke. And a little bit left. Oh, indeed. He's gonna fall, but oh, that was funny. Anything more to be done here? Not by the looks of it. Looking for that final frag. Let's just get it. Indeed, he does.
Nicely done. 14 here, and that's one of the lifelines here. You can see that with that money stacked up pretty high, they'll still be able to bring out 2 A1Ss. That loss bonus is helpful. A lot of utility to bring out in this round as well. They are having a little bit more of a heavy approach towards this A side of things. Seems the B side a bit lacking, and look who's running up the B ramp right now. It is going to be Gonzo, already taking charge, already taking the entirety of the site. Molly towards Cubby. A lot of information gathered. The rotates have come through. Is it in time, though? That's the question. Down, really quick headshot. Gonzo and MD able to find both.
Looking down the barrel here of match point, more than likely. Unless we can see the pawn pull back at 2v5. Not only is that a bit unlikely, but, well, you'd have to imagine that's not something that we would see very often anyway. It's like just trying to hold on to some of these angles is quite his exits, but how many? One. Does find one exit, but can't pick up another one. It's done. No. Go down. 15-5.
There we are. On to series point, the pond. Might get introduced in towards the lower bracket here very soon. Not much you can do in terms of avoidance here. One last stand here. We'll see if Koi's talk can come back here. What is the quote? It was 15-5. One point. Koi had a talk. He said, "Can my team come back?" See what that next round delivers. So far, it's looking like 16-5 here because Cyrix is able to offer up a couple of kills, but he's burning in some flames and forced to commit. Sluggy, though, able to find some traces through the smoke. Tactile committed to it as well. Not expecting it. It's gone, so he'll go down, and there you go. 15-6. They do bounce back.
Nicely done. I mean, yeah, fair enough. A couple of players pick up a brilliant few gun duels, and it's 15-6. Fourth quarter, though, you have Lindsay to work with here. MD on the Tech 9, and plenty of util off the back of that, along with full upgraded pistol. Except for the Gonzo, who has a rifle. Oh, 1-for-1 trade there before Lester. Get the heck out of the way.
Pop shots here through the smoke. Oh, Cyrix didn't connect with that one. Might have given them a lifeline here, but they're running out. Smoke for the molly. That'll allow for a nice and comfortable plant here from the east side. 4v2 to keep them in the game. Doesn't seem all that likely. Gonna close these out. Cyrix taking one more attempt and no luck there. 16-6. They put up a nice fight there over on the pond, but not much you could do at a 4v5 on the T side of Ancient, and same with the CT side of General, man. It's so very difficult to close that one out. But fourth quarter, they're moving on.